You do it. You do it, Carl. You get that Pringle. Oh, wait. That was on the internet.
That's
all right. Hey,
all right,
internet.
man. It's all good.
Hey, internet. My name is Todd. And tonight, we're going to be playing some Dungeons & Dragons. I've got a couple of people waiting on the stream over here. And I will be the DM. Thanks for joining in. And audience, don't forget, you do have a role to play in this. Besides just audience. You can, if you're watching live games, you can make suggestions into chat on Twitch or YouTube, and I'm happy to try to incorporate suggestions into game. And the same goes for the players. We call them plot points. Speaking of the plot, we would have very little plot if it weren't for these lovely people here. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hello. And an empty room from Tihmily. There we go. All right, so, oh, don't forget, if you haven't yet, don't forget to hit the button, the plus button, the like, the follow, or whatever it is. Apparently, right now, it's Steve on there. Steve, we do need a sponsor. Do you have any ideas for this week?
I will have some eventually, but as for right now, you're just gonna have to wait and see.
Nice. Can you do me a favor and just tell people to watch our show? Ready? Yeah, good.
Ladies and gentlemen, like, subscribe, and watch our show. Hit that ring bell thing for the notificationals.
Wow.
Notification.
That was nice. I could totally use that. I think we should each do one of those at some point, because it's just too much of me all the damn time. And honestly, the people are here for your shiny faces. All right, so we're going to do quick intros. As I mentioned earlier, I'm Todd. I'm the DM. And we're playing a homebrew game, but not for long. I have ideas, people. I have ideas. All right, enough out of me. That was not a sound effect.
One.
I actually do have a sound effect of that. That was just pure me. Anyway, let's go around the horn. You already met Steve, so Steve, tell us a little something something.
Little something something, eh? Well, Gex Techford is moving up in life. Still just he's. I will let you in on something that I'm not going to let you in on. There's a thing he has a secret agenda. He definitely has a secret agenda, and it might take many episodes, and it might take just this episode for him to realize his secret agenda. But keep an eye out for that.
Awesome.
Hey man, I'll just give you the trident.
No, it is not the trident. But other than his secret agenda, he's pretty much just like enjoys life, enjoys being an adventurer, and yeah.
Yeah, if I remember
Not
correctly,
too serious.
he's like a 60-something-year-old Goliath rogue.
62, I think.
62. It's a
65?
fine year. Well, 62 is the new 40.
62. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the average life expectancy for any given race in this particular
Honestly,
universe and time period?
we could probably figure that out, except for those damn elves. I don't know why I beat that, but anyway.
Yeah, they definitely skew the average, right?
Yeah, exactly. This is why we need medians and modes. I'm just saying. Anyway, let's keep going around before this turns into a math lesson. Math. All right, Tihmily.
Hello. Oh, right. I'm introducing my character. I'm playing Hilda Bonebraid, who is a dwarf paladin and a med school dropout. So right now on a quest for adventure, and is now a proud owner of some apparently very lobstery chest armor.
Medical school dropout. All right, anyway, that's awesome. So we're happy to see that and see where that goes, because you got yourself some new loot. All right, that brings us round to Gordon. Welcome back, Gordon.
Hey, thanks. Playing Rook, a born again rogue. Um, and he is happy to kind of have a crew again, though he still talks and sees and hears his old crew, and is still looking for a way to get them out.
Absolutely. That's awesome. That's hilarious. And that brings us round to Carl. Hi, Carl.
Hey guys, hey. So first off, Dave Tillman would like to wish you all a happy 420.
Is this an actual this is a holiday day?
Oh, in
It's a
his
special
mind it
day.
is. So yes, I'll be playing Dave Tillman, your resident Tortle Twilight Cleric, and now / Barbarian, as
Ooh,
the
that's right.
the unveiling happened last week. So,
Yes.
but he's managed to keep his his passions in check, if you will, and is still in the good favors of Sinloon for now.
Keep it together, man. You got this. Just step outside and take a breather, if it will. If the star fits, I don't know. It's working the Twilight angle. All right, and that brings us round. We're all sorted out, and we're gonna dive in. Where you last were, you're on a boat called the Bullship. That's right. That's not right. There it is. The Bullship. And you've been sailing on your way for a secret mission from a man, I forget his name right now because I need notes. But you're on a secret mission to the Spines, trying to bring an artifact. What was the name again?
Calron.
Calron. That's right. Thank you. I should. It's like, yeah. We should talk. All right. Without further ado, we're gonna dive back in, having just fought off some creepy monsters. You are now. Well, let's see where you're going next. All right. We'll be right back for the continuation.
Some religious people.
Of the. It's a special day for the continuation of the story. Here we go. The rest of the night is calm. You find yourselves licking your wounds, tending to the several wounded of your crew members. The goblin floating city on the sprawls of the ocean, which you inadvertently rammed, is just off in the dim light over there as the sun is slowly coming up. A massive, rotting octopus body lays below deck, and you've managed to slay this strange, monstrous creature from the deep. You've managed to save many of the crew and stop this creature from making, well, any more holes in your ship. Unfortunately, it did do quite a bit of damage to the gun deck, and so that whole section has a large 15-foot wide gap that's about 8 feet above the water level. So you're not in danger of sinking, but it is definitely going to make your lives complicated. The captain looks on, Captain Zim, having just heard all the details from you, as little halfling Lek goes over and takes a blanket and covers up the body of fallen Barak. The choice is yours as to how you want to spend your time. What do you want to do?
I think the first thing I want to do, when Tammy mentioned, like, hey, that looks like a lot like you on the scroll, to Tillman, I want to almost like do a check to like, is that him? Like with the...
Yes. So the scroll that you pulled off the Sahagin attackers, who seem to be allied with this strange monstrous squiddy octopi creature that you did battle with. You've managed to retrieve one of the scrolls, and on the scroll was a prophecy of sorts, the Seers. And so there was mention of the Seers. In your Sahagin language is not great, but if those of you who have Aquan are able to decipher a little bit, and you do see kind of a crude sketch, not scratch, although that will be an NPC's name later this game. I'm gonna write that down. None of the plot things. I'm like, ooh, an accidental name. So scratch. All right. So the crude sketch. I see it's doing it all the time now. A sketch of kind of a rounded shape. It's very, very crude though. Rounded shaped humanoid, holding aloft a yellow kind of pearlescent ink was used to put this on the page. The water. This scroll is a sort of vellum, and it was also held inside a watertight seal. But it does look like a kind of material that would handle being submerged without too much trouble. And this is very strange ink. It doesn't seem to bleed even when it's wet. You can go ahead and do either... let's just do a straight intelligence check to just see what you put together.
Well, particulars.
Ooh.
I'm gonna use. So I'm just gonna like recall and like use my ability.
Yeah. See if any of your friends or Vostlov know
Yeah, like
anything
knowledge
that
from a
might be
past
helpful.
life. Just like, this seems familiar.
This seems strange. As for Carl's 6, dude, the blood is... You can just still hear your own heartbeat just pounding in your ears, even though you've been up on the upper deck for quite a while, looking at the stars and the quiet whispering, not voice, but sense of Selûne just being a calming influence on you, but you're still too worked up. And every time you go down below and you talk with your friends, after a little while, that strange, like almost insectine, like almost like this cicada maddening hum in the background just starts to buzz in your ears if you start to think too much. And that buzz, Dave, gets a little bit louder and a little bit louder. And so you have to take frequent breaks. So unfortunately, you're very distracted. That explains your 6. Now,
For me.
Rook. All right, 13. For 13, you don't get much. Which one of you speaks Aquan, by the way? One of you did.
That'd be me.
It's Dave.
All right, so that's partly the problem. Is it's not really getting much in way of translation. But just looking at the pictures, you see one side, it's got almost like a kind of a yellowing opal kind of shaded drawing of 2 clustering light type stones together, and then a third one in the hands of a crudely drawn, what you're assuming might be a Tortle. But the details are weak. So weak, in fact, that my level of drawing can handle it. So I'm going to show you now on my terrible, terrible thing here. I'm going to show the players first, and then I don't know if you can see any
Oh
of
yeah,
that.
yeah, I can see the resemblance.
Yeah,
No,
it's
totally.
just like,
Yeah.
Totally.
yeah.
Looks just like you.
That's almost exact. Here we go for those on the feed.
It-
That's
Did
almost
you consult my daughter for
exactly
that, or?
I am a stick figure genius. So don't you it's funny because we have some really super talented artists. I've seen some of the work that the people at this table and those who we've played with before. I've seen some of the work done, And yet I'm the one drawing this. But it's pretty accurate for the Sahagin. This was not a very artistic Sahagin. This might have been drawn by the octopus. Let's just be honest.
Right. But I assume like while we're still all kind of somewhat close to each other, I'll be like, okay, maybe not, but okay, guys, let's collect ourselves for a second. These things, Sahagin and octopus, attacked us. Specifically came after us. What we first thought was maybe a coincidence with like the lights being on and whatnot. No. Like they came to our ship. They were looking for something. That scroll proves it. Does anyone know? Like, let's just be upfront with each other, my friendly strange acquaintances. Does anyone have a jewel or something that maybe they're after? A jewel of 3 wishes? Something that sparks light?
Oh man.
X? Dave?
Don't I have
Hilda?
a ring?
You do have a ring.
Which one?
Gex.
Which one of us kept that ring?
You have it.
I kept that ring.
And it's
I have a ring.
It's a silver ring, but it's got a fairly large red ruby on it, and it does have some writing etched very, very carefully into it. I don't think you're trained in Arcana, so unless you want to ask, actually, Rook.
Well,
You did ask Rook about it.
no, I just have this one. We've looked at it. It was actually gold.
Yeah.
With a
right.
red
Sorry.
stone in
Yeah,
it.
Gold.
And it has some runic symbols on the inside of the band. So, but we never figured out what it meant, right? Could be this.
Right.
But this would be the only thing that I possess that could be suspect for causing beasts of the deep to want to annihilate us or me. I didn't suspect it though, because they didn't seem to come right after me. I'd be more curious. I mean, we should examine this, don't get me wrong. But I am also curious, I should say, as to why they focused on the area of the ship they did. Was it simply just to open a hole in the side so that the others could come in and attack? Or was there something about that particular area of the ship that they were after? Or maybe not. Maybe total coincidence. So, I don't know. If you guys want to look at this ring, have a look at it.
And it may not be us. It may be, great point. It might be someone else on the ship, but I'm just asking, does anyone have anything that could potentially be something that people are after?
I mean, there's a Tortle on the scroll, and we have 2 Tortles on the ship.
And the ring you got, we picked up, wasn't that ring we picked up from the temple?
Yeah.
I don't think
That was from
after
the
that.
shopkeeper.
Hey Todd, what do you want me to roll to see if Tillman remembers what he has?
Well, I mean, you remember
This,
what you have. But whether you share that is another story. It does bear a striking resemblance. Even with a roll of 6,
Yeah.
you picked that up.
no,
Well,
given this trusting
actually,
nature.
Maybe not. Go ahead and roll an investigation check for me there, Carl.
Investigation.
Not bad. All right, 16. Okay. So, you do look at this picture again when it's pointed out to you, and there's something about the coloration of the inks used. The color of it matches, and the rest of you do kind of get a vague sense of like, when did I see a glowing yellowish? I mean, not on the sea. The closest thing you saw to that was the prize at the competition. the jewel, the star kind of looking thing that was on the top of the tree when you were battling against the others in the arena. But
Oh man, this sort of triggered something, man. Now, I think I might have what they're looking for, but as you can see, I hold it up. I'm like, look at the angles here. Whoever drew this character or this thing just forgot one of the angles, man. So it threw me off. But yeah, man, might be looking up for this.
and you show them.
Okay. I was like, is that a piece of the prize that we won, like in the gauntlet? It
Yeah,
looks.
man, you guys didn't see me take it?
Not
Oh man,
no.
my stealth is freaking picking up, dude. This is awesome.
No one really spots where a Tortle is going to put his feet when they're on all fours.
So this is the prize that we won and gave back.
It wasn't the prize so much as the target. Like it was, it's like if you play you play a game of stickball, the prize
Yeah.
is the stick or the ball.
Yeah, but in this case, the target is the prize for these things, maybe. If it is what it is, like if it is what they're actually after, I don't know.
But it's only a sliver, no?
Maybe
Yeah.
it's one of three, or maybe there's
The whole thing probably was originally, and you got a good look at it, especially I think it was Rook that went up and grabbed it, right? Or was it Gex?
Yeah.
No, Gex got knocked out. So Rook,
I stole it from them when it dropped.
yeah, so you helped make them drop it. Oh no, Hilda made them drop it with a hand
Made
axe
them drop.
throw. And
Yes.
then it fell. And you only ever saw it afterwards, and it was probably about a little bigger than two fists, or even two hands kind of cupped together. And yet it was a little bit misshapen when you found it there, Rook. Almost like not quite symmetrical, but it was glowing with that kind of radiance. And indeed, Tillman, you pull that out? Do you whip it out right here, Tillman?
But yeah,
Not in front of the kids!
discreet, like if it was opening a trench coat or something. But yeah,
It's not a trench coat, though. It's part of your shell.
that's right.
You tuck it in that little spot. So you
Yeah,
pull
so
it
I
out.
discreetly show it. I want everybody else to see it, but I said, oh yeah, I stick to my previous script, but
Oh, of course. So you can all see this little glowing yellowish gem, but he tucks it back away pretty quickly.
Maybe that could be it. Have you noticed anything since you had that thing? Like, if they're saying this is a jewel of three wishes, have you made a wish? Have you, like, has anything changed since you got it?
nah, man, just better mushrooms. Nah, just messing with you, man. No, I haven't noticed anything.
You saw my friends.
That is true.
Well,
Could you?
I may have seen your friends.
The first time you saw my friends was the night we won. As far as I know. Could you
As
see
far
them
as
before?
he knows.
Nah, man, that was the first time.
Go ahead and do
Occasionally.
a perception check for me there, Dave.
All right.
Oslo, can he see you?
Nat 20.
I'm asking. Nat 20.
Natural 20
26.
for a total of 26.
Nice.
Dave,
He
you
knows all the things.
how many in are you to have calmed yourself down? Like how many hits?
In terms of
Shrooms
mushrooms,
or
or in terms of like breath?
What is your
intoxicants.
intoxication level?
Yeah, roll for
Oh.
intoxication.
Current intoxication
Sure, man.
load.
Medicine?
Sure. Or that could be your medicine check.
Calculate the ppm.
13.
All
Not
right.
the best, but
You-
it could be worse.
You know, you picked a couple of the green ones and one of the yellow mushrooms off your shell earlier. It hasn't really hit your system yet. You take a close
Man,
look
and I had to
around.
calm Lek down.
Oh yeah, you give one to Lek? Oh, that's right. So he's sitting there rocking back and forth and chatting with Berek. Oh yes, but of course you could. And if you see my grandmother, maybe tell her that it wasn't me that took the cookie. Anyway, back to Tillman. Tillman, you take an incredibly detailed look around the room, focusing on and around Rook. You notice
All
two
right.
things. Number one, there's something different about him. You can't quite put your finger on it, but something is, I don't know, different. The way he's looking, the way he looks to the left or to the right, the way he looks at you and through you. It's a little bit unnerving, and you'd never noticed that before. The second thing you notice, and you make damn sure, there is no ghosts, specters, friends. You remember seeing Rook's friend Angel in the bar. So you kind of look around for him. A couple of the crew members are kind of way on the peripheral outside of the conversation on the deck. But no other people, no other apparitions. And maybe it's just a bit of a bad trip or something, but you get this creepy sense when you look at Rook that you had not noticed before. Something about the way he holds himself is just different from before.
Alright. Does it cause any mistrust? Any sense of mistrust or doubt or...
It's quite different and a little unnerving. Whether you decide whether you find that untrustworthy or more troubling than that, I'll leave that up to you. But
Alright.
with your nat 20, you're sure you don't see any of his friends.
So do you see any of my friends?
Not this time around, man. Saw him at the bar once, but you know, really wondering where they are right now, though.
Angel? Voslo? You guys around? I just kind of turn and look for them. Do they...
So in that moment, as you start to look around and call out and look for some help, and you did have Voslo nearby. You could hear him in your ear a little bit ago when you asked for assistance on your search of the incredible drawing.
Yeah.
And his voice was there, but right now it's not. And you, admittedly, Rook, I would like you to do a sleight of hand check, and Gex, I need you to do a perception check. And I'll let Hilda do a perception check as well.
Yeah.
Hand check? Okay.
Try to perceive
No.
things.
No perception happening here.
20.
24.
9 for
Everyone
9
else
for
can
Hilda.
perceive.
Hilda's real busy. Gex, you are a
Hilda's
very
just-
observant guy. And normally, nothing gets past you. But Rook, dude, you got your 24. So, Gex, you don't have a clue. But Rook, you have the ring. Yes, Rook has the ring now.
Okay.
He stole it off me.
He totally did.
Really? Okay.
There was something about it that's just like, and then you look down and you're like, oh, okay.
Okay. And no one notices that I have it?
Nope.
Okay.
And Tillman is kind of staring around, looking under things, just still trying to find your friends, presumably, but he doesn't seem to have noticed that either. It's almost just for a second, Rook. You're just like kind of lost a few seconds, and then you're just like, oh, okay.
Hmm. That's something that Gex would do intentionally. I say to myself, without saying aloud,
Is everyone okay over here?
Tammy
I'm
comes
rubbing
down.
off on you. That's the problem.
Yeah, too much time. Tammy comes up, the Tortle navigator. She's standing there. She's kind of the kind of painted shell kind of Tortle, and wearing some kind of appropriate sashes and clothes to mimic clothing. It's a little hard to get Tortle clothing to fit just so, but with the retractable arms and legs. But contagious kleptomania. So she comes up and kind of asks if everybody's okay and offers everybody a wineskin from one of the barrels below. You've had this before. It's like a salty grog, but it's alcohol. And she passes you a half-empty wineskin of it, and she's just kind of,
Well, that doesn't happen every day. Everybody okay?
Seem to be. Ship needs a little bit of work.
Yeah. No shit.
On it.
she fights the urge to like. Never mind. She's not going to say anything, but she starts to be like. And Dave, that cicada hum in your ear just seems to get louder.
Man, where's that buzzing coming from, man?
All right.
The captain wanted a word when you guys get a minute.
I think we just finished our conversation. Yeah, let's go go see Captain Rim or Zim?
Zim.
What Zim? Right.
The invader.
Okay.
Yeah, Captain Rim is on holidays.
For whatever reason, I always get this guy's name wrong. Let's
Totally good.
let's go speak to him and see what our next move is.
All right. So you make your way above deck, and he's up on the top, kind of directing the crew. You can look out and you can still see the goblin sprawl as the sun rises. Probably about half an hour away, but on the ocean it gets light before that. So it's you can make out the silhouette of it. You can tell your ship they've retreated. They've pulled your ship a little bit away and are using just a small storm sail at the front, just to kind of keep a bit of distance so that it aren't too close. And the captain is sitting there, kind of directing it and taking. The crew is busy shifting a lot of the cargo below and on deck. and using some of the hoists in order to move some of the heavier cargo and the cannons to the opposite side. As Gex had mentioned, you're intentionally putting a slight list on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Good. How is everyone faring?
Alive.
Yes.
In one piece.
Is there anybody who's less than what are your just for me? I forget. What were your hit points down to? Is anybody got more than 20 points of damage?
Well, okay, so I guess we didn't get our long rest yet. So no, I'm good.
I don't think I got more than.
I don't recall.
I'm just down 10.
Okay.
And Gex, I think, is mildly wounded from the initial attack.
I
but
think
don't-
I had 9, yeah.
Okay. So
I-
you're a little bit
I
banged up,
almost-
but not like wrecked. So he's just
I'm
kind of
like 3 points.
okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I think the only one who
3
kind of
points
got
from
messed up a little bit was Gex and maybe Dave because he was right in the thick of it before he decapitated
no, man.
that.
I was 6 down. That's
Oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was
So
10
the
down.
The Sahagin
Yeah.
was the massive one got decapitated by Dave. So you're still covered in blood, but not much of it's your own.
Yay!
Oh, dear God, what was that thing?
Yes. Dinner.
I suppose
Mhm.
you're
There's
right.
still plenty of it down on the gun deck.
I'll get the cook, Barrack. He can help chop it up. He's one of the sous chefs.
Don't overcook it, man. Don't overcook it. It's gonna get tough.
Lightly seared.
Yeah, man. That's nice.
Well, myself and the rest of us of the bullship, we're in your debt again. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome, Captain. Most of it, I'll be honest, was about self-preservation, but when it serves the whole, I'm glad that it does. We are curious, though, as to what's the next step. I tend to think it might be wise of us to get to dock, if for nothing else than to furnish repairs, and ideally get to our destination quicker, sooner, rather than later.
Because during the fight, I did see there were a couple that did manage to escape. Did not come on board.
I think that's news that's news to me. Well, from what I can
Hilda
tell,
Bonebray speaks the truth. There were a couple of escapees of the aquatic, four-armed, attacky nature.
were these
Or was it just the one guy that had four arms?
just
I
the
can't
one
recall.
dude had forearms? But
The accomplices of the four-armed man, it was the four-armed man, came, and not all were vanquished. So it may be that word may reach people whom we wish it not to reach, and it may be that the people whose word have been reached by those we wish not to have it reach them may send others to return to re-breach the hull which we are trying to de-breach with wood and lumber.
it takes him a few seconds, but Zim kind of just nods along. He takes off his
In other
tricorn.
words, bad guys got away. They might come back with more bad guys. We should go.
Right.
You
Oh,
youngins
man.
say things so quickly.
From what I've understand of
It's
the
just getting
damage,
to the point.
we will not be able to make full speed. We are
Mm.
probably 4 days out from the spine that we're headed to. However, I don't like the look of it. It might be best if we put into some island or some shelter. We could effect what repairs we can. Or we could try to keep it listing and make our way. But if we hit bad weather, I don't know. What
Well,
say you?
Captain, can I ask, when was the last time you put in to dry dock or put on to a beach in order to debarnacle the hull?
Well, it's been some time. I generally try to keep my ship in one piece, but well,
We may be able to kill two birds with one stone if we pull to the beach the ship, roll it, debarnacle the hull for extra speed, while at the same time effecting repairs. We may be able to be efficient that way.
I mean, the ship is capable of that. We find a soft sand beach. Although, the spines we're going to are not known for their beaches.
I might actually... Captain? Sorry to interrupt. There are a series of small atolls just north of here. It'll bring us closer to... Well... Let's just say... It's unlikely that we'll be... I think we'd be able to get there in maybe 2? Maybe less. If we're careful. But it is a little bit the wrong way.
Well then, I guess we have a choice to make. Shall we press on for the spines and hope the weather holds? Or should we try the atoll?
You're the captain, man. It's your call.
What do the clouds say about the weather?
Do a nature check.
Alright, well. It's a 6.
6. You look up and you're like, wow, that's like a almost perfectly uniform white sky. And then after a little while, somebody moves the sail that was in front there, and you're like, oh.
Whoa! Hey, that wasn't like a nat 1.
You have a hard time
Based
getting
on-
a read.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. Didn't
No,
mean to
go
interrupt.
ahead, Dave.
No, finish your thing and I'll do mine after.
Oh, she just gets a really hard time getting a read on whether the weather will hold. Whether the weather will hold.
Okay.
I don't know, guys. I can't discern what the clouds say.
Well, the rest of us could take a peek.
You could try.
Based on my previous experience at sea, would a survival check be appropriate in this?
Sure, I would allow a survival check. It might be a slightly different DC, but yeah, that would be applicable in this circumstance.
All right, 21.
All right.
You weathered that.
Would one of you like to roll a D100, please?
Sure.
Because 21 is quite good, and I want to be accurate for you.
Plastic or metal?
Your call.
Shiny. Let's go shiny.
Yes. Shine.
Ooh, 88. Whatever the heck that means.
Roll again. We already had rescue a castaway.
Okay.
That was related to weather.
I believe the other one you rolled was a 37.
29.
All right. Okay.
Roll initiative.
You're like scanning the horizon, and it's like, okay, the sun is coming up, and you're thinking, and you're like, okay, red sky at night, sailor's delight. Red sky in morning, sailor's warning. And you're like, okay, everything's looking good, and you turn your head and you see this brilliant red sky on this one side, and then with a dark cap on it. And you quickly test the wind. And you're like, yep, the prevailing wind, that's going to blow right this way. So it looks like there's a pretty sizable storm en route. So,
We need to get going, Captain.
all right, but where?
That's a storm.
Should we?
So, where am I plotting? Am I heading north to the atoll, or are we heading west to the spine? Or
Well, which way
5
is the
days?
storm?
The storm is
Which
almost
way
due
is the
east.
storm?
The storm is due east.
Wouldn't it be?
So the wind is coming from the
Okay,
east
then
and
we
it'll
need to
blow
head west.
towards you. And so you can go racing like with the storm, trying to beat it towards the spines, or you can head north and hope to shelter in some islands.
How far are the nearest islands from where we are?
Who's your navigator person assisting? I think it was Rook was the
Come on.
specialist. You were the captain.
It was rough.
Yes, Rook.
All right, Rook, go ahead and roll either investigation, survival, or nature.
Survival it is.
All right. Just give me 1 minute. Rook, come on.
So Tammy takes you down
17.
below into the little navigator booth, and you pull out some papers. Montage of rolling out maps and getting out a sextant and dropping it on the floor and fixing it and readjusting things and getting out a slide rule and all the other things that you do. And with a 17, and I'm going to say roll with advantage because Tammy is helping.
Okay. It's 17 again.
Nice.
Wow.
She's not helping that much. So she's busy and she's checking her numbers, and the two of you kind of take a few minutes in your navigator montage. And after a few seconds, you look at each other, and you go back up and you talk to the captain.
Well, Captain,
And she gives you a nod there, Rook.
looks like I can put us at this small island here in a day, if the winds hold.
All right. What'll it be? It's your mission.
Well, let's put our heads together. I feel like
huddle.
this is a risk. There's a risk we're going to take either way. We need to repair this ship before we really try and go anywhere. And 4 days of sailing, no matter which direction you're going, there's too many things that could occur over that time.
There's
Whether we
literally a list
completely
of
beach
100
the ship in
different
order to repair it, or whether we simply pull into calm waters to do so, we need to do something. That's
Yeah,
my...
and with my carpentry skills, I think repairs might take a little bit while.
There is other crew members who are capable of helping. They're training you, actually.
Yeah, it's a Hilda, only Hilda show.
Okay.
my
I think we
hammer.
need to repair.
You're starting to
4
channel
days
a
is-
little
you're
bit of
right.
your father, Hilda. That's my hammer. Get your own.
4 days is a long time with these gaping holes. I think if we can do a detour a day, do some repairs, let the storm pass, and then continue. If there was not a storm, maybe I think we should do it, race it, but I mean, you guys are saying there's a big storm coming.
Yeah.
We get caught, we're all dead.
All right. Dave?
Turn us north.
Hey man,
Gentlemen?
I can help out, man. Some mending and stuff, but man, I agree. We need to park this boat, man, and fix it up a bit. You know, make it nice.
And my ship.
All right. You head back to the captain. But what'll it be?
Captain, let's head to the closest land. Let's head to the shelter of those islands. We shall repair the ship and then reevaluate from there.
All right. You heard the man. Ready the ship. All right. You guys, in pretty short order, the ship is listing slightly the way you want to not let the bigger waves come into the hole on the side. It's turned and ready to navigate north. You look out over the ocean. The sun has come up now, this beautiful sunrise. And although red tinged all along the one, what is now to your right, as you are now facing ready to go north around this goblin sprawl. You can see the little silhouettes of little goblinoid creatures crawling around the sprawl. You can pretty much even just make out this little old husk of a goblin, whatever his name is, Kipo or something like that. Kelpo. Hey, Gord, I raced you there. I knew that one. So Kelpo, you can see him standing on the end of one of the finger docks and kind of looking out towards you all. And he raises his one little clawed hand as you begin to sail north towards the unknown isles. And for a few minutes there, everything is calm and beautiful in the wind. And in the distance, you can see these dark clouds roiling just off to your right there. But the rest of the day is beautiful. And as you're going, you're kind of hands on the rail of the ship when you're not working. And Rook, as you're kind of standing there looking out from the aft castle, looking out at the rest of the seamen kind of working away there and looking at the beautiful sun on the ocean, you feel the presence of Tammy as she stands next to you, and you kind of turn and look at her, and she says,
Well, I think that's the right call. But, I just, looks like we're all gonna get a bit of a closer look at the Frontier spin. These lie around the edge, the far edge. We're gonna skirt around this. Don't let us go past bearing 138.
and she goes and she punches Gex in the side kind of lightly and repeats herself.
138. No more east than that.
You point, we'll sail.
Actually, somebody who is listening to this is going to be knowing their compass bearings and be like, 138 is nowhere near. Anyway, whatever she said. She said, don't don't favor to the east. I guess it's more dramatic than saying, don't go past bearing 0. But anyway.
I'm going to, I think like when she's done talking, like, I think Gex and I are like, okay, sure. I think people are going to get to work. I'm actually planning to do 2 things. One, go down and check on Anna, because part of me thought maybe they were after her. And then 2, huddle up in a corner and take a little rest.
Yeah, you're
like
all
in my
risking.
meditative state.
You're all risking some exhaustion right now as well, because you fought in the night, which interrupted everything. If you wanted to, you could ask the captain for a shift of sleep. That's not too big a deal.
Oh yeah, I'm at my age. For now.
At my age. Jeez.
So, Captain, I'm off to sack.
All right. You did a good turn. We'll watch our back. Get some rest. You better be sharp for your watch. Tammy seems a little... if I didn't know her better, I'd say she looked almost nervous.
And is Anna still in the below decks?
So you go down below there, Rook, and it takes you... Well, go ahead and roll an investigation check for me. Or perception check.
Perception. Okay. Natural 20, 29.
It's almost like you knew exactly where she would be. Just even before you moved, you just like close your eyes
Wow.
and you just feel, and you're just like, you know, you walk straight as an arrow down the main hatch there, down to the gun deck. And while the rest of the crew are busy kind of hauling away, they're keeping an instinctual fear, a distance away from this. And they're kind of shuffling. They've shuffled a lot of this, the guns and the cargo off to the starboard side there, but the carcass is kind of sitting in the middle there. They've done a little bit to add a bit of a railing across this gaping hole in the side of the ship so nobody accidentally gets tossed out. But that's about all the repairs they've managed to effect so far. So there's a couple of crew members over there, and you walk in and you're looking at the carcass of the massive squid-like creature. And then you look directly up. And on the ceiling above, kind of Spider-Man style, pressed against the ceiling, these long, willowy limbs, fingers far too long for an average, teenager. You see Anna, the little human, as you know, sea hag, on the ceiling, just munching on a large piece of squid that she has somehow extracted without the rest of the crew noticing. And she's just like, she looks down at you.
I'm sorry. Would you like some?
Be later. I'm not so hungry right now. But, tasty, huh?
Yes. Yes, it is.
I have to ask you something. Were they after you?
And she looks at you, and she's got these really pointed, jagged teeth. And her gums have receded back, so they're just like...
Maybe sent by your kin? Yeah.
But the rest of her face looks like that of a regular, she's like 13 or something. But super sallow, super pale, long stringy hair, dangling almost straight down at you because of the angles. She's about 15 feet up, kind of nestled in between a couple of rafters. And she looks around, and she motions with this finger that seems to have an extra, almost like an extra knuckle at the end is bending. It's just like, bloop, bloop. And she motions you off to the side, and you kind of walk over, and then she skittles along the ceiling, and silent as a ghost, standing next to you in the corner of the hold now, a little more private from the rest of the crew.
Yeah.
Yes. He doesn't like my mother.
To send such creatures. I don't think so. The mages, they... I was told to watch out for the mages. But Sahagin, they have their uses. But I don't think they were here for me. I don't think. But what do I know? I am just a little
Girl.
Hey, insight check to see if she's lying.
Sure. Roll insight. Bet you wish you could have had that nat 20 now.
I know.
Whoa, ho, ho.
Although that's like, how many for the party so far?
An 8. Never mind.
She's very hard to read. At
Hard
a
to
glance,
read, yeah.
her human disguise is very good. But there's something about the stillness in her. It's Again, it's troubling.
Tell.
And at this moment, you see
Alright.
little halfling Lek, come around the corner. He's kind of carrying a satchel slung on his back, and he's like walking around. He's almost bumps into the two of you, and he looks at her and kind of starts a bit, and then he looks at you and starts even more. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. I'm gonna. Bye. And he turns around exactly back the way he's going, muttering to himself, I'll take it later.
Okay, well, I just wanted to check to make sure that you're okay in case they were after you, that's all.
No. I'm fine. In fact, I'm having a lovely voyage.
And she takes another giant mouthful of squid.
Oh, full.
The jaw distending a little bit as she takes a bite, just stuffing her face in the way that only a teenage sea hag could.
Well, we're going
Oh, I think that should
stop
be a
somewhere
spin-off.
close by.
Anna the teenage sea hag.
We're gonna stop somewhere nearby to repair before we continue on our way. Just to let you know. If you need me, I'm gonna go below decks and recover. And I'm just gonna leave her to her eating and go below.
You get about 4 steps away when you hear her ask behind you, not necessarily to stop you, but she mentions, as you're walking away, she's like,
Have they guessed yet?
What?
Oh. I think you know.
I don't think they know what you are. Yeah.
Seeing how
Sure.
the ceiling is.
Don't you worry about me.
and she takes another giant bite, and then kind of licks her super long fingers. The nails are like pretty extended on the end there. She goes
I
back.
assume
to
she's
carve
not
another-
showing this in front of everyone else.
Oh no, because you guys went off to a kind of a nook in the side of the
Yeah.
hold. But she does now kind of wipe her hands on, and as she does so, the extra long fingers seem to kind of retract, and the face kind of resorts itself a little bit, and her skin stays not as, it's still super pale, but that greenish tint that begins to come to the surface when she begins to lose her illusion. That fades away, and just back to the pale girl. And she goes over to the side and kind of looks around, waits a moment, then grabs another chunk of squid, and then kind of goes walking back to a different part of the ship.
Okay. I am going to walk down and huddle in a corner and go into my meditative state for 4 hours.
You are going to have to be careful of that one.
You can hear Vostlov's
Yeah.
voice.
You weren't around earlier. Where did you go off to?
I have things I have to do, just like anybody.
Okay. Well,
Eyes a lot. Ah, good. I see you have got that ring.
yeah. What is it? It's
I
almost like
want
I
a
unconsciously
better
took
look
it.
at that.
Let me take a bit of a break, and then we'll look at it together. Because I'll switch out my proficiency to Arcana when I do that.
Good. You do that. Get some rest.
All right. Can I get a skill challenge from everyone as the ship continues on, and you are making your way north now. I'm going to need. We've already got a navigation check, so you've already plotted a good route. So now Rook can actually get a bit of rest. The rest of you are going to probably be fairly busy with your duties. There were several crew members that got hurt by that octopi and then fled.
All right. So, I'll heal them up the best I can.
Absolutely. So, can I get you to either spend a couple of spell slots, if you're actually using magic, or roll some medicine checks?
I'll roll some medicine checks,
Sure thing.
because I don't have many spell slots left.
I'm gonna say, you're not. Are you proficient in medicine?
+3.
Okay. I'm gonna give you an extra +1 because you do actually have the proper tools.
So 17.
17. All right. So you managed to patch up several of the crew members pretty quickly and easily. One of them complains about the pain. He ended up breaking a leg, kind of falling down a ladder at one point. So you set it for him, and then you give him a little something extra off the shell for the pain. And then
Yeah.
one for you. All right.
One for me.
And you look over, and you see the drunken surgeon who's supposed to be on duty just sleeping it off in the corner. He's in a slightly different position every time you go in the room, so you are aware he spends a little bit of time moving around. But yeah. Meanwhile, Hilda, what are you going to be doing to contribute to the journey?
Well, I'm going to see how well I help the crew make some additional reinforcements to that railing.
All right, nice.
And yeah.
I'm going to get you to roll a. Let's go with strength plus your proficiency in tools. So that's strength plus your d20 plus 2. Or no, is it plus 3 now? I think it's plus 3 now for your proficiency bonus.
Yes, plus 3. Yes. Okay. Hilda obviously needs to go to sleep because she just rolled in that one.
She goes over to where the hole is in the ship, starts peeling off parts of the boards to make new crates to store her tools for later. Someone's like, Hilda, stop. No, Hilda, no, relax. No, not, just go take a nap.
Father says, we gotta put all the tools away, proper places, before we go to bed.
And Scratch, that's the name of the person who's teaching you how to do this, is a human, and he is a sailor and I think it's a bosun, the person who helps repair the ship. Basically gives you another, no, I need you to do this right now, and gives you 2 boards and some nails. It's like, make sure those go together, and just sends you off to work in a corner. And then he goes to try and help repair the thing that you just broke. So the ship now has a 16-foot wide hole in the hull, as opposed to, I'm gonna count that. Go ahead and roll a d10 for me there, Hilda, and add your strength modifier.
My strength modifier.
And double it. Double the result.
Okay, so 4 plus strength is, okay, so that's 16.
All right. So 16 points of damage to your ship. It was already. Keep track of this. The hull has 300 points of hull. It was at 87, but it just took 16 more points of damage.
I swear, guys, are supposed to be It's the lack of sleep. It's the lack of sleep.
Thankfully, you didn't go to carpentry school, eh?
All right, Gex.
Yes.
What are you doing?
I'm sleeping.
Okay, cool. All right.
Taking the longest nap that I can acquire.
All right. And the ship makes its way north towards the unknown, skirting the frontier spin towards some unnamed atoll. And with that, I think we're going to take a little, what do you want, 5, 10? Refresh beverage.
Should we have a word from our sponsor? A word from our sponsor on the way in or the way out?
How about on the way back when we come back?
5 is fine, I think.
All right, let's do 5-minute breaks, refresh beverages, bio breaks, and all that. And also to thank you guys for making me laugh. That was a lot. And don't forget, audience, we'll be back in wrong button. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Take a break, refresh your beverages, and don't forget to hit the buttons to do the things with all the things and stuff. I'm great at this.
Like and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. Tell all your friends. Unless you hate us, and then tell your enemies.
You know what? They say any press is good press, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. All right, we'll get out of here. All right, we'll be back in a few. Okay, interweebs, here we come. Hi, whoa, what's going on? Why is this? Oh, I know why. Because I'm on the Discord. Hold on. Let me jump back over to the game. There we go. There we go. There we go. Hi, everybody. Thank you for that, by the way, Tihmily. The rest of us took a break, and Tihmily made some art. Here, I'll throw that back up on the screen just for a moment there. Where is it? Where is it? There we go. Happy April 20th, everybody. Hope you're having a grand old time. Or as Tillman would say...
Have a righteous time, brothers, sisters. Yeah.
That is an amazing Tortle face, I do have to say. The little... this smiley beak smile is just great.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that... you remember Titan AE?
Yeah.
The pilot? I finished my nap.
Well, thanks for that. And don't forget, you've also done some notes for us before, visual notes. I always love that, so always encourage that. And Darcy, thanks for the shout out. Darcy's in chat and he was saying he said very good, well played. All right. So, without further ado, you're all sailing away. Well, a couple things happen. First of all, let me get onto my sailing music.
We need to have a word from our
Oh,
sponsors.
yes. Let's not forget a word from our sponsors. Thank you so much. Let's give it over to Steve. Take it away, Steve.
Well, this week's sponsor is called Squid Smokers Extreme. Have you killed a kraken lately while adventuring? Have you got leftover tentacles after a gloriously victorious sea battle? Or maybe you're just a fisherman with some extra bycatch. Get our seafood smoking kits complete with hickory and mesquite, portable grill and smoker, spice kits, and extra sushi rice and seaweed wraps. If you need to preserve a squid and you want to have an extremely delicious meal, buy yourself a set of our seafood smoking kits. Now 50% off for $9.99.99.
Alright. I want that! And so do you! Alright, thanks.
Whoa, what am I doing? There we go. All right, thanks very much. And I think you were working on another thing which I was laughing about over the break, but we can do that a little bit later on. We'll do 2 breaks.
Yeah.
2 breaks.
Woo.
It's like
Well,
just playing for
luxury.
fun. Exactly. All right, so you're sailing for quite some time. Let's dive back in. And that's it. Oh, right. the cameras are kind of messed up because Gordon had to step away. But it's okay. You can stay away if you need to stay away. And he's back just in time. So you're sailing for quite some time, and you watch as the day started out nice and bright, and the sun just gets darker and darker as these clouds start coming across. Those of you who are taking a rest, go ahead and mark it off as a long rest. Is anybody staying up?
Nope.
Oh, after that performance, Hilda is definitely going to sleep.
That's fair. So everybody catches a couple of Z's, and as you drift off to sleep, you can just feel the ship just gently rocking on the waves as it cuts its way north. A couple of hours later, like approximately 6 to 8 hours later, you're awakened as a crewman comes running in, banging on the wall and slapping the bottoms of your hammocks. And as he wakes you up and he's like, "All right, Captain said get above. Let's go. Come on."
Are we under attack?
No. And at that point, you're realizing the ship is like just begins shifting, and it's this weird kind of torque to it as the back end gets shoved, and then the whole thing lifts up a bit, and then riding down a larger wave, and then gets to the bottom and hits the other side of the crest, and the whole thing shifts the other way. And so you're rocking violently in your hammocks as you were sleeping, but because you're in hammocks, you didn't notice as much. But now, as you're now awake, you realize you're in heavy chop, in heavy, large waves. And the crewman's like, "The captain, he needs all hands.
Shoot. Okay, we run up to the deck like crazy people.
All right. So you manage to grab whatever gear you need, and you go rushing up to the top deck. You come up, and you come out into a major thunderstorm.
Wow.
As the clouds have caught up with the ship, and you can see the wind is lashing down whipping the rain, whipping the rain down sideways at a diagonal. And those of you with hair, it's all whipping off to the side as the wind just tears at you. You step out and are almost instantly drenched in the downpour. And the crew members tosses you a rope, a small loop of rope that you would, and he kind of motions to you. Let's see if anybody remembers what to do with the rope. Roll intelligence.
Can I roll a survival for that, or?
Not stupid.
Sure. Yeah, you could make this a survival check if you need to. All right, Tillman with a 14. You know how this works. Rook with Vostlos whispering in your ear.
No, you need to loop it. Under here, over there. Yes, that's it.
And even Tihmily. Oh, sorry, not Tihmily. My mistake. Even you, Tihmily, know. But your character also knows.
I know that.
Hilda also knows that this is a short loop of rope, which is basically a safety line, and you loop it around your waist and under your crotch area and tie it all together, and then you can fairly quickly and easily tie off to a ship line, so you're less likely to get tossed overboard. And Gex, in your hurry to the top, you totally forget what the rope is. You're just like, okay, and you just toss it to the, you sling it over your shoulder and go running up because, gosh darn it, you're second in command. You're too important for whatever this thing is. All right, so the rest of you spend time tying off and getting ready. And as you go out above decks and the waves are crashing, and actually, but even before you get above decks, you immediately notice when you first jumped out of the hammock, there's about a foot of water in the bottom of the ship. Now it's sloshing back and forth, so sometimes you're totally dry, not in water, and then it sloshes the other way, and you're a good foot in water. And then as you move up you now see to the gun deck, you can see every once in a while a wave will break and send water in through that hole, and you can see poor Lek and a handful of other people and Scretch busy trying to nail boards up. They've gotten it to almost waist height, and you can see Lek there with two pails of pitch goes skittering across the deck, and he kind of steadies himself and then goes running back over, and then Scretch grabs a brush and starts slapping the pitch on the boards, just trying to get a waterproof seal as high as they can. It is a losing battle. As bigger waves are definitely slowly sloshing the ship full of water. That's a lot of S sounds. She sells seashells by the seashore. All right, on the top deck, as you clamber up the rest of the way, you see this storm, and then you can see the captain, and you see Tammy kind of holding the rail near the navigator's thing, yelling up to the aft deck, where the captain and another crew member are busy trying to keep the tiller at the right angle. All right, what do you want to do?
Well, it's a storm. Kind of feel like
You look around, you try to
Yeah.
decide who needs your help, because clearly it's an all hands on deck kind of situation. So where do you want to go? Which station is it, as it were?
I'm gonna take a look around and see who's like what seems to be in need of the most help, or who needs
All right,
the
Rook,
most help.
I'm gonna get you look up, and you can see everything's pretty good at the moment, and then the wind shifts suddenly, and you see this boom come shifting across, and the line that was securing it just snaps, and you see a crewman kind of dangling a good 20-30 feet up in the air, just desperately trying to wrap the sails as and trying to reef one of these sails, shorten the sail so that it's not catching as much wind. But unfortunately, the shifting has totally made him stop doing what he's doing, and you can see the sail kind of billow up and catch full wind, and the whole ship starts to, and it creaks and groans as it begins to lean. He looks like he could use some help. Either he's gonna fall or fix his thing.
I will assist.
All right, so I'm gonna
I
get
will
you to do
actually-
acrobatics. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Acrobatics up. Yeah, exactly that. I'm going to basically acrobatics up to save him / help the sail.
I will let you roll either athletics or acrobatics. It's your call.
Acrobatics it is, because I'm much better at that.
That's fair.
Ooh.
And I'm going to use knowledge from a past life, because that roll is shitty. 16.
Tie your line there. If you fall, you might not break your neck.
Voslo whispers in your ear as you're like, "All right." So you tie your safety harness on, and you go, just taking your time, trying to get up to the top. And at one point, you wobble as the sail shifts back, and the boom almost hits you. But you're kind of on the string line leading up there, so you're okay. But it takes a little bit of time to get up to that height, and then you can kind of quickly out onto the boom and start helping secure it and lash it down so that the sail is brought down and no longer going to be an issue. I need you to do one more. This time it's going to be either athletics or strength check, and that's just to bundle the ropes and the sail and get it all lashed down.
Okay.
And you do have advantage as there is a crew member that you're assisting.
Yeah.
12.
All right. So between you and the crewman, you manage to get it lashed down, but it takes you a while. By the time you kind of stop doing that, you're breathing hard, And I'm going to get you to do one more acrobatics check as the wind shifts again, as the boom that you're standing on, or kind of huddled on, suddenly shifts back the other way. Ooh, nice.
19.
19, so you handle yourself, no problem. However, the crewman with you doesn't do quite as well, and he starts to lose his grip, and you do one more. Let's do a dexterity saving throw for me. Unless you want to just let him fall.
No, I'll do the dex saving throw.
Nice.
It's okay. $24.
Damn, no problem. You're already reaching out before he even starts to fall. You're just like, he's gonna fall. So you get your arm out there and steady him. He's like, thank you. And you go, all right. And you kind of make your way nimbly back down towards the main deck. Meanwhile, Hilda, where do you want? You look around looking for something to help with, and you can see that there's a couple of barrels that have kind of come unlashed and are rolling randomly around the deck. You can also see other crewmen trying to pull on some of the lines on the storm sail at the front of the ship, which is trying to keep it pointed in a particular direction. And they're having a hard time kind of tying that off. You can also see one of the tiller people busy trying to just keep a particular line on the tiller, but every once in a while they get tossed back and it starts to spin and the whole ship starts to turn into the wind, but then a wave hits it and it's threatening to swamp it. So you kind of got a couple of different places you could go. Do you want to go to the forecastle to help with the storm sail? Do you want to help with those loose barrels, or do you want to help with the tiller?
I think I see the immediate danger of the ship veering into like different directions because of the lack of control on the tiller, and I hope that Hilda will definitely help steady it.
All right. So you go rushing up
go.
onto the aft deck and go running up, and this thing, the crew members kind of just trying to wait for the timing for it to stop spinning wildly and to grab onto it. And he starts to reach out, and that's a 3 on his strength saving throw. So he reaches out to grab the thing, and it suddenly veers the other way, the way he wasn't expecting, and the wooden kind of handle of it hits him in the back of the arm, and hand just goes crack, pretty visibly doing some damage as it goes. Let's see, hold on. Yeah, he just took 6 points of bludgeoning damage, and he's holding his hand like, damn it, I think I broke my hand.
Oh, okay. Well,
So you're up.
I rush in, and I'm going to try to steady the tiller.
All right. So I'm going to
Looking
need
at
you
it,
to
sun-
roll a strength, actually, let's go with a strength saving throw.
Oh, come on, dice. Don't let me down.
Oh, don't say that. Oh, no.
No, I roll a 4, but my strength saving throw is a +4, so I guess it's an 8, but that's still...
That's still pretty low. All right. So you do almost the
Yeah.
exact same thing. You're like, okay, it's spinning that way. You stick your hands on it just to try and steady it, and it actually spins even faster. And you're just like, whoosh, and it gets you before you realize. That's all right. I'll re-roll that. Okay, so you're gonna take 6 points of bludgeoning damage as it batters your hands,
Oof.
and
Ouchie.
unfortunately,
Well, yeah, that's exactly what Hilda says. Ooh, ouch.
yeah, you pull your hands back and it starts to spin wildly. Everybody needs to do a dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving throw.
Those of you with safety harnesses, you're doing it with advantage.
Good.
Where's where in the what am I doing here?
All right, Dave Tillman rolled an 8 or a 15, so we'll take the 15. Oh,
I'll just take my first roll.
nice. As Rook rolls a nat 20 for 28, boss. So you're just like,
Like
He's so dexterous.
Just go with it, like Matrix style. Like,
actually, even better.
You
You
actually-
used the momentum because you were starting to climb down from the rigging. You just grab the safety line with one hand and kick off, and just do the whole like Errol Flynn spin around the mast, and then land nimbly on your feet and look up at the forecastle like, what?
what?
How'd you do, Gex?
the sea.
The guy you were with, by the
It's
way,
actually
manages
that
to hold
theme
on.
Of like Aquaman.
And Gex got a 14. So Gex kind of does the whole stumble thing and falls to one knee, but you're not. Actually, hold on. You are not harnessed. So I'm going to say it tosses you pretty hard. And so you're going to risk a little bit of bludgeoning damage as you slam into one of the railings. Fortunately, you managed to stay on the correct side of the railing. But you take 1 point, just one, of bludgeoning damage. And Dave Tillman, with a 15, you're fine. You manage to skid your feet a little bit and grab onto the nearest mast as you're still trying to decide where am I needed. All right, Tillman, you're taking all of this in. You saw pretty much the same thing as Hilda. The tiller is still spinning pretty wildly back there for the big wheel at the back. You also see a rolling barrel, and that's totally come unlashed and it's starting. And you can hear some crew members yelling something about it. And you can also see them struggling with the storm sail at the front, and they could use help kind of lashing that down. Which way do you want to go, Tillman?
I'll go towards the sails.
Do a quick perception check for me there, Tillman. We'll see what you find. With an 8, it is really loud. The wind is just howling, and every once in a while a blast of lightning kind of half blinds, half deafens you. So you kind of make your way towards the front. You lose your step footing a little bit as you get to the front, and then suddenly you're up next to 2 crewmen who are desperately trying to lock this storm sail into place. But it keeps pulling away and then whipping to the other side as the ship kind of spins pretty wildly with these waves. So you're going to try to help secure the storm sail, which will make everything else a little bit more stable. However, you need to do a strength check or athletics check.
Nice.
At 20.
Oh, damn. All right, 2 things happen. One of the crewmen starts to, like, fall over. You quickly reach over and grab him and just push him so he's into the deck. And then you grab the line that he was holding, and with one hand, you just walk backwards. Your Tortle feet just digging into the deck and, like, just getting really good grip as you heave, and this storm sail just flips back under control. It's like a triangular-shaped sail off to one side. Much smaller than most, and it's a bright kind of orangish color. And you just walk it back to where you can tie it off and loop it around. And the rest of the 2 crewmen there that you just literally replaced look at you like, damn. And then there is, let me just roll something real quick. Of course it is. All right, everybody has had a chance to pick an action, I think. Oh, no, Gex. No, what were you doing, Gex?
Nothing.
All right,
I
where do
was
you want to go?
trying to.
You see the same things
I
as
was trying to
before.
get up. Yeah, I was trying to get up to like here to the,
Next to
the aft deck here,
Yeah.
like about there, so I can start yelling at people what to do.
All right, so you go making your way back, and part of being do a perception check for me, and a persuasion check, back-to-back checks.
Well, 6, so I don't give a shit. Persuasion check. 7. No one else cares either.
Nope, nobody cares. Nobody cares. The storm is the only thing that hears you. As you shout into the
Tell you
wind,
what I'm shouting at
ineffectively.
them.
You lose all the voices as somebody is on the main deck yelling at you to do something and motioning but it's lost in the wind. And you go back up on the deck and you turn around and you shout into the wind. And the wind screams back.
Turn! And then heave! But over! Starboard! Right! And then sail! Wind! Islands! Shore! Turn! Boat!
I'm kind of curious how long this will go on for. Amazing.
Just rudder! He just starts doing this.
All right. All right. So you're screaming into the wind very effectively. At which point, you see this one crewman nearby suddenly lunge, kind of in the mid deck at this crazily rolling barrel as it goes flipping around, and it then hits the mast and splits open, and it's hard to see in all of this because nobody rolled a perception. You're all rolling for perception, just total trash in this storm, so nobody sees. But at that moment, something just it bounced off the center mast and went spinning around and all around, and then kind of is laying there. It kind of finally wedges itself kind of at the bottom of these steps that you see here. And Tillman, you were towards the front. I'm just going to move people where they were. So Tillman's up on the foredeck. Rook, you were pretty much midships. Hilda, you're right back by the tiller. And Gex is busy yelling at the wind at the rail. And Dreamy, we don't know where Dreamy is. Dreamy is, I'm picturing like a dog sleeping. The feet are shaking as he's having a nightmare about a storm somewhere down below in a nice warm place. Assuming he didn't stay with the goblins. Nobody knows. That's the kobold friend of theirs. All right. And Tammy comes kind of out of the mid and starts yelling up towards... Actually, Gex is the only one who has a chance to hear her because her voice is just lost in the wind, and she's like,
Winnie,
And I
we're
perceive her
almost.
as the
It's just about. You gotta.
and it's lost in the wind. You can't quite make it out. All right, it's dark, and that's part of the problem. It's very dim down here. So at this moment, I'm gonna ask Rook and Tammy and about 4 unfortunate souls. As Tammy comes forward, she goes back inside for a moment, and then a moment later, she comes back out holding this hooded lantern, and kind of motions around with this lantern that she's holding, trying to illuminate, make things a little bit better. And naturally, that happens. So, okay, so Rook, Tammy, and several unfortunate crew members on the main deck there are going to need to roll dexterity saving throws.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Wow.
19.
19. All right.
like the
Who
most
wants to roll for
barefooted
Tammy?
sailor in history.
Does anybody
Just
want to
like-
roll for Tammy?
Sure, I'll roll for Tammy. Why not?
Roll for Tammy.
Am I rolling a d20?
Yep. Oof. That's a
My
fail.
balls are poop.
Okay. Those of you who play Shadowrun should probably understand what 66 sounds like.
Oh, oh, oh.
Okay.
And those are the eyes of a man who has rolled terribly.
No, Tammy.
But when it's the DM, is it terrible or Terra good? I don't know. I was trying something. It didn't work. All right. So the dark is briefly illuminated by Tammy's lantern, and then she stumbles a little, and it kind of falls from her grasp and hits the deck in the storm and rolls. Fortunately, the hood part of it keeps the flames from going out. However, it rolls down and hits kind of near where that barrel had nestled. And one of the hoods pops, and a slight flash of light, and then a much brighter flare of light as the powder barrel that had split open and spread black powder all over the mid-deck ignites. Ka-boom. Doing 22 points of damage. For those of you who had to make the save... Oh, actually, Gex, do a dexterity saving throw. You're quite close as well. So, Rook, you succeeded nicely on your dexterity saving throw. So, you take half of that. So, you're only going to take 11 points of fire damage. Or thunder damage. It's kind of both. Gex, you rolled a 3. That's a fail. So, you're going to take...
No, 12. That 3 was for the other one.
Okay. You rolled a 12.
Still.
One sec.
Not great.
That's a tie. And I'm going to say meets beats. So you save. You take 11 points of damage and are not pushed as this flash... And you're holding the railing, so that steadies you. And who was it that was rolling for Tammy?
I rolled for Tammy. She got a 3. That's what that 3 was.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a massive flash. Several of the kind of weaker boards, like this grill that's here, a couple of the cover plates on the lower deck things, just get displaced, just wrecked, and thrown to the side, which means quite a lot of the water that's hitting the top deck, instead of going over the covers, is going into the ship. The other thing is, there's now a small hole in the deck. Not super big, but it is definitely an actual hole leading down below. It's about, not quite 5 feet. It's probably about 3 feet worth of damaged wood. Most of this, because it wasn't shaped, kind of went up and out, which is why Tammy, who was right next to this, took the bulk of it, as she takes 22 points of damage and gets thrown a total of...
Wow.
10 doubled.
I'm sorry, Tammy. I am sorry, Tammy.
5. 10.
The digital dice did
15,
you dirty.
20. All right. Can I get you? She is still conscious. I need her to do a dexterity saving throw right now.
Tammy's dexterity saving throw is 16.
Modified.
By whatever her modifier is.
So, the good news. She gets blasted back in the firelight. It's almost beautiful in the way that the light plays out over the scene. You can see things finally. And then she gets thrown backwards. Her tortle shell gets most of the blast and has this vicious burn and a few cracks leading across the chest as she is thrown back hard into the corner of this deck. And fortunately, she slams against the railing and it holds. And she manages to not flip up and over the rail. Instead, her legs get tangled in amongst the rail, and you can hear this sickening snap as probably her femur from getting twisted in amongst the rails takes the bulk of the damage, and she twists at this tough angle, and then as good turtles do when they experience pain, she pulls in her arms and legs, which has the effect of forcing her downwards where her tangled leg was, and holds her on the ship. Barely. She is crumpled in the corner of the ship. What do you want to do? Anybody?
What's that?
What do you
Heal
choose
her.
to do?
I basically yell out, get her and heal her.
There is a small fire on the deck, but it is
Yeah,
not
as I'm
spread.
yelling that, I'm gonna attend to the fire.
Okay,
Try to yeah.
all right. I can't tell if Carl's saying anything because he's muted. Is he muted? No, he's
Am I
not.
Muted?
Nope, you're not muted. Sorry.
How,
Who wants
how
to do
big of
anything?
a fire is it?
It's not that big. The lucky thing is that this happened in the massive storm, so the fire is really only right around that little, the little hole. Everywhere else, it's just too wet on the deck to spread. So Rook goes running over, puts the fire out. What are you gonna do, Gex? The
But
ship,
has he
all
got
the
the
other
fire
problems
out?
are still there. Pardon?
Has he got the fire out?
He's stomping on it, and it looks like it is diminishing.
I'm just gonna take a quick second to take a sense of are the sails under control, and which way is the wind coming from, and where are the waves going?
Okay.
Which
do
direction are the waves going?
Either survival or perception.
Which will be better for now? They're both the same. So let's do
Roll the
perceiving
dice.
check. 21.
Nice.
Woo.
All right. I'm gonna come back to you.
You
Don't let me
perceived that
forget.
well.
As you pause and remind yourself to just take it all in as you look out, and you can see the flashes of lightning illuminating the surroundings, the deck, and so forth. But we'll come back to you in just 1 second. Rook, you're putting out the fire. Dave, what are you doing? Your rope is tied off. The storm sail is under control. What do you want to do?
I look around me and see where else I can help.
You see Rook yelling in the storm, and with your passive perception, it's pretty high. You can make out what he's saying. He's yelling, healing, and he's motioning towards the far end of the ship. And he's stomping out the fire.
I'll go. You what?
And he's busy stomping out a
I'm
flickering
motioning
flame.
towards Tammy while I'm trying to put out the fire. But you see your ex basically close to death.
Actually, from where he is, he can barely see it. He can't actually see her unless he approaches. So you come down from the foredeck and kind of go sliding along the wet wooden decking, and you manage to sidestep a few of the other crew as they're rushing around. You go scrambling up, and you see Tammy thrown into the corner of the aft kind of main compartment there, and where Rook is busy just now stomping out a fire. And you see the crumpled, fallen form of Tammy the Tortle.
Oh man, that's not cool, Tammy. Jesus. I mean, Saloon. All right. Is she gone, or spare to dying type of stabilize first, or what?
I'm gonna need you to do a medicine check.
Sorry.
All right. Well,
22.
he's
Okay.
a bit more sober now.
At a glance, you're just like, the buzz wears off. You take it in, and you're like, you can see immediately she's got a twisted, broken leg sticking out. All her other limbs are retracted. But that's good news. That means she lived long enough to pull them in. As you go running over, and you get a little bit closer, you can see you can still see the kind of rhythmic pulsing in the places where the turtle plates allow like a breathing shape. She is still alive. She's pretty rough. Most of any clothes that she has are like blackened and charred. Her chest plate from the armored Tortle chest plate is blackened and literally cracked and seeping in some places, as you can see blood mingling with the rain. She's hurt, but she's not out. She's a tough Tortle.
Not sure if that's gonna buff out, but all right, let's yeah, I'll cast healing something there.
All right, what do you want to cast?
I'll cast Cure Wounds.
All right.
First level.
All right, make your roll.
And
Wow, nicely done. That's not. Oh, no, that's almost max. As you kind of warm it up and place your hand on her cracked chest plate as her head starts to emerge from there, and you can kind of lock eyes as she sees you, and you place your hand over her face, and the little flash of a moonlight glow. That's canon. We heal by hand palming the face. That is the only healing that works in my games. From now on, that is canon. You must palm the face.
Palm.
All right, so you palm the face, if possible. So you start on the chest plate and then move up, and her head kind of retreats, and she's got blood pouring out of like her ears. Her eyes are super bloodshot. She's like missing a couple of teeth now, and she looks up and you's like,
What took you so long?
as the healing glow pulses over her, and she heals 10 points.
you're welcome.
She was 3 points from death, by the way, just so you know.
Oof.
I rolled generous on her hit points, but boy, she took 222. That was a lot. She got wrecked. But you pull her back, and she's healed. You
boy.
spend a little bit of time, and you can see the broken limb underneath her straightens itself out in the power of your magic, and then slowly kind of regains some strength, but she's going to have a limp for a while as she kind of comes out of her shell, and kind of you pull her back to her feet, and she's kind of bracing on the railing there.
Thanks.
You know
We're,
what you need,
uh,
man? You need a parrot.
We're not quite even yet. But it's closer. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Fabrielle. Welcome back to the stream. Wax on, wax off. Absolutely. That'll buff out. Maybe.
Just in time to save a Tortle.
Exactly. All right. You've managed to save Tammy. Thank you, Tillman. Hilda, you're taking it all in. The tiller is spinning wildly in front of you. Gex, let's resolve that 21. You look out, and for a second, Toidle. And for a second, in the flash of thunder and lightning. Yep, those are trees. What the? Those are trees. Off the port bow, probably 200 feet. You see trees illuminated in the light. You quickly make out, okay, and that looks like you wait for the next flash, and you see, yep, okay, you can see waves cresting and crashing on a beach, probably about 150 feet away, and the ship is being driven towards it.
I'm going to do some screaming. Right about now.
Roll for screaming.
Roll
Persuasion
for
check.
screaming. 16 screaming roll.
And what, good
This is
sir,
what
do you want to scream to the crew?
Am I by the tiller, by the wheel?
You're pretty close. You could run back towards it.
I will grab it and turn so the ship turns to port. You know, turns counterclockwise. So I figure it'll roll to starboard as it does, keeping the hull up.
Yeah.
I will yell, drop all sails. Drop the anchor. Do we have two anchors? Do we have an anchor on
Yep,
the rear?
you'll have
On
two.
the stern?
Yep. Well, it'll be
Yeah,
both
drop
off the
both
bow and one
anchors.
off the stern.
Bam! Drop the anchors. Drop the sails. Secure the deck.
All right. And the captain adds to that.
Jump
He-
to it, ye scallywags!
All right. And with a 16, the crew kind of, your voice carries and the crew kind of startles into action. And you hear the clink, 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 clink. And it's not that you hear over all the waves. It's that you feel the anchor line thudding out as it clunk, 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 this rhythmic pulse in the boards. And there's this delay. And you can see them starting to bring down the sails as quick as you can. Some of them are even struggling. Rook, just behind you, one of the crew members is pointing towards a sail that you can see is still up there. And you're actually the closest one too. I need you to do an, let's say a dexterity check. Or here's the thing. You can do a dexterity check, or it's about 15, maybe 20 feet away to the line itself from where you are. And they're like, you see this crew member. Get that down.
Yeah, like I'm gonna go try to get the sail down, I guess. Right? Like,
All right. If you loosen the line, the sail will just
Yeah.
fall.
oh, then, yeah.
All right. Let's do a dexterity save dexterity check to run over and loosen the line.
Okay.
You could.
Is there any skill with that, or just straight dex?
This would be straight skill, or you could try and think of another way to get this rope to not be tied anymore.
Okay, so there's a rope holding it up.
Yeah.
Can't I just? How far away is it? 15
It's
feet.
about
you said?
15, 20 feet away from you. It's right about there.
All right. I'm actually. You know what? I'm gonna use a bonus action. Steady aim,
Okay.
and I'm gonna throw my dagger at it.
Nice. All right, so you
To cut it
take
down.
a few feet forward to get a clear line of shot. You pull out your dagger, whip it, do the whole like flip the blade thing, catch it, make your roll.
All right. So roll with advantage.
It's a fairly small target on a listing ship.
First
But-
roll's an 18.
The 18 will do. As the dagger
Okay, good.
flashes in the dark and just severs the roll damage, and you can add sneak attack to this because you had advantage.
Boy, really? Huh?
Sneak attacking.
You gotta cut the rope though. It's got a certain amount of
I did
HP.
not expect it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The rope just didn't see it coming.
It's
It
true.
was in oblivion. It was in
The rope was like,
oblivion.
it's too Brutus.
And it's a good thing too.
Good thing. 14 damage.
Yeah, because rolling minimum damage
Bad
with
rolls.
a 7 would not have cut the rope by itself. 10 HP. But with your sneak attack brings it to 14. The rope never had a chance. The rope severs and the line pulls away and the sail starts flapping wildly in the wind, losing almost all power. And just that front storm sail is still tied, which is good because you need something to bring it around. But here's the other thing. Somebody's got to bring this tiller around. Gex and Hilda. You are both at the tiller. I'm going to say, let's get you both to roll a strength. Yeah, pretty much straight up strength check.
Strength check. Strength check.
Actually,
While they do that, I'm going to reaction get my dagger back.
yeah. And with this little flash of silvery light, it just reforms in your hand and is no longer buried into the wood where it had hit to sever the rope. You can actually do this as a strength saving throw if you wish.
Doesn't make any difference. Same numbers.
And Hilda?
I rolled a 10.
Actually, I just realized something. You're both helping each other, yeah? So you're gonna roll with advantage. Because you're both doing
Okay,
it.
well.
And the captain leans
roll
in. Zim is
Nice.
there. And he yells,
Uh,
"Make it count!"
Woo!
Alright, what'd you get, Hilda?
15 on my advantage roll.
Oh, nice. And Gex?
21.
21. And the three of you and the captain, all three of you together, just time it just right. Grab onto one of those pegs and heave it against it. And you can feel the whole deck just lurch as everything just goes as the whole ship turns and lists hard to one side. And at that point, everybody do a dexterity saving throw.
Because
Oh
we've
boy.
Tillman,
I
fail
should not have rolled that one.
Whoa.
with a 17. Fails. Hilda, epic
Well,
fail
no, that
with
that
a
one.
4.
If a 17's a fail, then yeah.
Oh, damn, Rook. Epic success with a 26. And you literally just... Everybody else around you is like going ass over tea kettle. Like several of the crew members are thrown and go sliding on their knees. A few of them grab onto the ropes that they're nearby to try to steady themselves and are just flung around. As the
What I
front-
do actually,
Yeah.
as it's kind of shifting, I actually start to kind of go incorporeal a little bit. Just go like a little flicker.
Nice. And so everything
things
literally
yeah.
moves. The deck even moves under you, but the other way you would expect. You expect it to be thrown left, and you just drift right as the ship moves underneath you. What happened is the front anchors grabbed all of a sudden on the rocks below and finally gripped, and the whole ship, with the tiller turned that way so it didn't damage it or rip anything, the whole ship suddenly goes spinning around towards a hard starboard spin as it kind of the tail end of the ship now pivots towards the onrushing beach that you were very close to. And everyone would be thrown hard to the port if you didn't succeed. So Tillman, you're looking at Tammy, and she's got this one kind of bloodshot eye, and you kind of lock eyes for a second, and then whoo, she's suddenly 10 feet away from you, 20 feet away from you. As she manages, because she's held in the corner, she holds on, and her legs are outstretched as that hard as a stop, and then she goes thumping back onto the deck as you just fly backwards and away from her, as you are thrown 20 solid feet back. 5, 10, 15, 20, and you hit the railing that's really close to where that hole was, and it steadies you, and you're going to take a D6 of damage. 4 points of bludgeoning damage. Oh, sorry, 2d6 bludgeoning damage. 10 points of bludgeoning damage to you, sir.
Do you want me to roll it, or?
Oh no, I already rolled it. You take 10 points of bludgeoning damage. Unless you want to do anything about
Alright.
that.
No,
Rook,
10.
you actually end up 10 feet to the right somehow. Like against the shift. As you go incorporeal for a second and then pop back. You are now where you were standing in space, but the ship has moved underneath you, and then you're back on the ship. Gex, with that, you slide to the other side of the tiller, so you and Zim are both holding on opposite sides of this wheel, but you are holding on, sir. And actually, sorry, you got the 26, so you're okay. You don't go anywhere. Hilda, 5, 10, you hit the rail hard.
Oh.
You take 5
Oh.
points of bludgeoning damage. Do a dexterity saving throw, please.
Uh, 19 this time.
All right. You managed to get literally one hand on the railing as you were about to go over and effectively falling prone, and you are thrown. I need you to immediately do a strength check for me. Just straight up strength.
Do this to me. I rolled a 2 plus my 6.
Oh, that's a really good strength.
I mean, sorry.
And it's
No, sorry, plus 4 is a 6.
total of 6. You needed a 10.
Total of 6.
So what happens is you're like,
Did.
whew, you go pinwheeling over the railing. Your hand grabs it, and you're like, ah. And then the slippery wood, you start to lose your grip, and then fall, and you pinwheel into the surf below. Splash into the water, and you are under the water for a few seconds. Okay, you are overboard. Gex, you saw this all happen. All right, what do people want to do? Let's go around the horn kind of quick. Rook, what are you doing?
I see Hilda fall over.
Unfortunately,
Or not.
no. You're on the lower deck, so you can see Tammy, and she's trying to struggle to her feet. You see Tillman, who is prone technically as he bashed into this railing, and you are on your feet. You can see another crew member struggling to their feet, and you can hear the pounding of waves on a shore fairly close, almost directly to the stern. What do you want to do?
Would help Tillman.
All right.
Just check up on him. Like if I don't see anyone else, but I saw like Tillman kind of take
took a hit.
take a beating, then yeah, sure.
Sure, you
Yeah,
pull him to
I'll
his
just check-
feet.
make sure he's
He
okay.
doesn't need to use his movement to get up now. All right, Tillman, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
Just, do I see anybody else that's, taking a walloping? I can help
Tammy
out, or-
managed to hold on. You see a couple of crew members kind of scrambling to their feet and kind of helping each other up. There's the slight hole, but the fire next to you is almost out. It's kind of sputtering and
well,
flaming near you.
Alright, well, I'll put the rest of the fire out.
Nice. There's only one surefire way to put out a fire, sir. How do you want to put this out?
Well, man, just had a few drinks.
What?
So, yeah, he's gonna piss and,
All right. Apparently,
take out the
Give
fire.
him. I'll give him some space for that.
you pull him to his feet, and let's just say his arms, legs, and head are not the only thing that can retract. So he spins around.
Troika.
Go ahead and roll for piss, sir. Roll for piss.
Now, would that be dexterity?
Play to your forte. I'm going to say it's either Constitution or Dexterity. This is
Let's
a
go
new one.
Constitution then. Oh, saving throw. Whoops.
He's making up for bad aim with just pure quantity.
22.
That's a lot. That's a lot, is what that is. And you kind of miss for a while, and it's a good thing Rook stepped back, because wow. The torrent
It's a lot.
that issues forth is impressive.
There's so much that we're not even sure if it was you that caused the storm. Or
I think at this point,
Another nature.
because of the live stream, we're gonna have to cut to a blurred feed, but of what you see. But the fire is safely extinguished. It might smell, but it's extinguished. Well done, sir. Thank you. All right.
Thanks, man.
Gex, what do you want to do?
Hilda's gone overboard, right? Did I notice that?
You totally picked up on that as she went ass over tea kettle right past you.
Okay, so have the anchors been dropped?
They
Are
have.
we still heading towards
Nope.
beach action?
The ship, you can feel I'll give you. You got a crazy high perception earlier of 21, so you know what the ship feels like when it's on pre-sail. Right now, you can feel the waves bashing it, but there's something pulling the bow of the ship down. That's the anchors. They have securely bitten into rocks or soil below, and so the ship is stopped, and the waves are now breaking against it, and it is now spun into the waves and wind. So the waves are now breaking over the bow, which is the safest way to do it, and it's kind of riding up the waves a little. Your ship is successfully stopped. I'll give you that one as a freebie. You got that.
Okay. So I'm gonna try and run to where she went overboard and chuck a rope or something at her.
You go running towards, and you look over. Do a perception check to find her in the dark. Do you have dark vision?
I do not, but I got an 18.
You're unfortunately, because you're in dark vision, you're rolling with a disadvantage. So go ahead and re-roll that. Sorry, man. Hate to make you wait.
17 and 19, so 17.
That's pretty darn good. All right, so you pick her out in the dim lights as she comes kind of paddling up towards the surface. Hilda, please do an athletics check. Oh, unless by some chance your character doesn't know how to swim. This would be a bad time to suddenly decide that.
That wasn't part of the backstory?
It's kind
But
of
I wonder-
You
assumed.
used to know how to swim.
Are you trained in athletics by any chance?
I am trained in athletics.
It's auto if
She was
you're
part
athletic.
of the med
trained.
school.
Yeah.
She was part of med school swim team.
That's canon. That is now true. All right. That's how you. Oh my god.
Another
new dice.
nat one.
Oh, another one?
Oh.
How?
Yeah.
How did you? Okay, so Gex, you look over the deck just in time to watch Hilda drown. She is being pulled away. She's just on the edge of vision. Ballad of Hannah, the sea egg roll for. I love it. So Hilda you see her kind of reach the surface for a second, take half a breath, and then a wave just sends her flipping upside down. She can't tell which way is up. She is under the water by a good 5, maybe 10 feet, and she does not have a clue which way is up. She is going to be drowning. Avoid the undertow. Avoid the undertow. Absolutely. Thank you, Sarah Fabriel. Gex, you have spent your bonus action and some of your move, but not all of your move. Only about 5 feet of your movement. What do you want to do?
I have a hold of this rope, right?
Um,
Hold of a rope? Did I get a rope?
there
I
is
went
a
for a
rope
rope.
nearby.
I want to grab the rope.
Okay. You grab the rope. It's busy
And-
being attached to a sail above.
I'm totally going to dread Pirate Roberts in the take a hold of the rope, dive overboard while I'm holding the rope,
Nice.
and ideally aim myself at Hilda.
I'm gonna get you to do a very fast, let's say, you know what? Sleight of hand.
A
just
sleight of
quickly-
hand.
Quickly be like, grab what you need, and then leap overboard. And so sleight of hand followed by athletics.
Sleight of hand was 20 and athletic 19.
Damn.
Thank God for bonus.
Hilda is being robbed of all the good rolls. Gex is getting them. All right, so you do the whole like, you run over, cut the line, grab a spool, and just leap into the waves. All right, so your movement will sorry, you got 19, so you hit the water and you're only about 15 feet away from her at this point. Do one more athletics check for me.
Athletics.
The waves are just pounding
16.
against you. 16? Unfortunately, you're a good swimmer, but you only managed to do 10 feet, so she is 5 feet further away. As you're just swimming, you've got the rope in your teeth, and you can feel it kind of tugging, and you're just kind of feed it out, with your very dexterous bicuspids, is how you're managing to wrangle the rope. But unfortunately, she's still 5 feet away from you as you crash through the pounding waves. All right.
Yeah, I'll just yell at her, Hilda!
If you yell, you're gonna have to let go of the rope because it's in your mouth. You moo at her. You moo. All right. Coming up next, the captain up on the deck. You can hear him. Man overboard! Oh, and another one! You've
On
all heard
purpose
that.
this time.
We've heard it now. I've heard
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, everybody has heard that. What do you want to do? Rook.
I'll take a look.
All right. He's
I'm gonna take
holding
a look.
the tiller, struggling. Actually, he doesn't have to struggle hard to hold it now that the ship has been anchored, and he's now pointing back towards the kind of port stern side of the boat.
I'll head in that direction and take a look. What's going on?
10, 20, 30. You get up to the top, and you can see him pointing over the side, and you can just the angles, you can see Gex just in the waves. You can just see the top of his head. You see the rope that he's got extending down to where he's got it clenched in his teeth. Probably a good, 20 feet away, maybe 30 feet away from the boat at this point. But probably about 30 feet away, maybe 40 feet away from where you are right now. You've
Okay.
spent your move.
Is this on the map? Do I see this on the map at all? Or
Am I on the wrong map? I might be on the wrong map.
It's like
I'm on the wrong map this whole damn time. Come on over, folks. Can you
Oh,
now I see.
see that? By the way,
there I am.
it's
in
not
the
quite this
water.
orientation, but if you scroll down to the ship, it would be facing the other way right now. Here, let me just spontaneously resize the universe here for a moment. Oh, nope. Wrong universe.
Oop.
Hold on.
Wrong universe.
Wrong universe. Sorry, interweebs, as we do some stuff. So you've managed to stop the ship.
Ooh, doo-doo.
Look
quite
at that
close
boat
to shore.
spin around.
Yeah, that's probably about it there.
Baby, right round.
As you have managed to narrowly avoid collision with the island, and now I just need to spontaneously move all of you. I've been moving you this whole time, and none of you saw it. It was beautiful. God,
I was
damn
like,
it.
what's going on?
Todd is constructing like a beautiful ballet for
Well,
us.
I did it
of-
for the internet, so the internet got to enjoy it. Damn it! All right.
All right.
Something like that. Let's switch Gex and Rook. All right, so there you
Okay.
go. Spontaneously
All
resize.
right. Do I
that
see them
universe.
both, or do I just see Gex?
You only see Gex.
I'm gonna be like, another overboard. I assume Gex is in trouble, and I'm just gonna go do an acrobatic dive and go after him. Because
All right.
I'm pretty secure in the knowledge that I can't drown.
That's true. All right, acrobatics, please. Followed by athletics.
21.
Nice. So you make this beautiful dive, right on point. I'm gonna say you cover an extra 15 feet easily because of your leap and land.
Whew. Only a 6 on the athletics part.
Okay, so you go.
You know what? I'll use knowledge of the past that.
You come up, and this voice
Oh, I
whispers in your ear.
Avoid the undertow. Avoid the undertow. Smiley face. LOL.
That's for you, Sarah Fabriel. I wrote that in chat.
I got a 10 on that. I don't know how good that is. Smiley face.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So you got a total of 10, and you're just like you're trying to get some distance, but you're actually it's pulling you backwards. The undertow, the riptide is you're caught in a riptide, and you're managing to hold steady. In fact, you're still 10 feet away from Gex, and you're being pulled the other way, and you start to sink under the water. But the good news is, well, you're not drowning yet. Not yet.
Can't drown. So.
Can't you?
No, I don't breathe.
Can't
very,
you?
very nice.
No.
There's a weird
Actually-
thing. You're like, I can't drown. And Vostlo says,
Yeah.
You can't but I can. Swim.
Hey.
and this
Anyways, I'm just gonna
weird
swim hard
thing
anyway.
happens in your brain for a second, where all of a sudden, Vostlo is caught in a riptide. Vostlo is being pulled away from where Gex is. Vostlo is slipping beneath the waves and trying to gasp for air. And Rook, it's like you're watching this from a slight distance, as though you're next to him whispering in his ear. Meanwhile, Hilda, please do an athletics check for me.
Come on. What is that? That will be a 13.
13. You manage to break the surface, get a gasp of air, but unfortunately, you can't control which direction you're going to go. So I'm going to say you're moved 10 feet in a direction. I'm going to get you to roll a d12, because I feel like d12s don't get enough love.
Okay, let me locate a d12. This one. What do they look like? Are they these? No.
This
Yeah.
is what I mean. They don't get enough love. You don't even recognize them. Here, I'll hold one up.
I
Looks
don't
like
even
that.
have a D. I don't even have a D12.
Do you want me to roll for you? Looks like
okay.
this.
Oh, they're just a slightly not as many sides as a D20.
There's 12 of them even.
Ah, a 10.
All right, a 10.
Oh.
So that'll mean you
A
move
10.
10 feet in the 10 o'clock direction. So that's about here. So you end up right about there. Paddling, breathing, your head is over the surface. Everybody who's in the area can now see you well enough. Yeah, there you go. Coming up. So you managed to get a good gulp of air. Anything else you want to do before with your action per se? You could dash if you want to swim in a direction.
I mean, after all that tumbling and like near drowning, I'm not too disorientated to
Let's
swim in it because I could use an extra action, but
let's say as a bonus
I'm just
action,
not
do
sure.
a perception check for me. I'm that nice. Oh no! Again?
no, not again. But it was a 5.
Okay. Okay. Unfortunately, it's dark. It's raining. All you can barely make out is you can't even really see the ship from here because the distances are so like difficult. See a flash of lightning, and like, wait, what? Did something just brush your leg? What? And you're now kind of like you're starting to hyperventilate a little bit, just trying to suck as much oxygen into your lungs as you can, but unfortunately, you can't kind of get your bearings. If you want to do a dash, you can, but you'll roll a d12 again, now that you know where they are, to pick your direction.
I will dash because I think that thing brushing up against my leg is going to make Hilda panic a little bit.
Fair enough.
Let's see. It's a 12.
A 12. You're just like, get the up out of there. And you just start swimming due on this map north. All right, so you go your full movement, which is halved because you're swimming.
It's a
So 5, 10,
Uh-huh.
15. It's not too dramatic. You don't get that far, but you got that far. All right. Meanwhile, next up, let's go Gex. What do you want to do? Oh, sorry, Tillman.
I am going
been a bit.
to.
It's been a bit. Sorry, Tillman. What do you want to do?
I'll climb up to whatever deck this is.
All right. You can see the
And
captain
I
standing.
also see-
Sorry, what's that?
Can I see the two peeps in the water there?
Yep, you can make them out pretty easily.
Alright.
And you
I'm
can
gonna
see
jump
that
in.
Gex has a rope with him, but Rook doesn't. And the rope actually kind of arcs back and up and is tied off. It's kind of here-ish. Gex, do a percentage roll for me, will you?
A percentage roll?
Yeah.
Like a D100?
Yes, please. You got a 50. Let's say 20%. You want to be.
A D100.
You want to beat 20%.
Okay, D100. Come on, lots of dice. 76.
You beat 20%. The rope is actually tied. Because you did it in such a hurry. It might have just been like, you cut the wrong end of the rope or whatever. So there is a rope extending out and back to the deck, and it's tied pretty close to Tillman. So Tillman, you see this rope that's stretching between them, and that's kind of all you see right now. You actually, with your passive perception, Tillman, you can just make out Hilda way over there. Actually, do me a favor,
You're
Tillman.
like, is she swimming away?
Bonus action, if you want, perception check. Now,
Bane
remind
Tempest.
23. Remind me, do turtles have dark vision?
I do.
Oh, you do, because of your Twilight Cleric. Celine,
Yeah, 300 feet, motherfucker.
300 feet will definitely do it. As you take in the surroundings, your ship has nudged in and anchored almost perfectly in the center of a large crescent-shaped bay ringed with beautiful white sand, or it would be if it wasn't night and then in the middle of a thunderstorm. You see the lightning illuminating, and you can see now this beautiful beach stretching maybe 40 feet away from Hilda, stretching off to the edge of quite a large and beautiful island with massive trees stretching up to a small kind of cliff-like mountain, rough, not super high, not a volcano per se, but definitely kind of a high hill or mountain in the distance, and a fairly good size, like probably maybe mile or two wide atoll island, and it's only at the highest point probably maybe 100 feet at its highest point, kind of a rocky hill, but it's all coated in these in a variety of oops, I think I just killed the map for you, didn't I? Oops. Why am I not able to click on this? Why is this so irritating? Oh, there we go. So you see beautiful beach in the moonlight that suddenly streams just for you out and through this beyond this small drama that's playing out about 70 or 80 feet from shore. Hilda swimming frantically towards the beach. The back of the ship just in the waves. All right, that's what you see. What do you want to do, Tillman? You do technically have an action.
Is Gex looking to get back on ship, or?
He looks like he's swimming towards Hilda.
Okay. Because Hilda's still hurting that.
Yep.
I'll jump in.
All right. Nice. You
It's
run
an
towards the
impromptu
side,
swimming party.
and you say, as you
Yep.
leap through the air, nothing. As you slam into the surf, and you're now down. You almost land on Rook, and there's this massive splash next to him. All right, I'm gonna need athletics checks from everybody. You're all in the water. Another athletics check, please.
Okay.
Tillman, 22, not a problem. Nice.
Finally.
Gex, 22, not a problem. Rook,
15.
15. You're struggling a bit in the surf. We'll come back to that in a second. And Hilda, 20, so not a problem. So you make another 15 feet, and all of a sudden your left leg hits something, and then your right foot, and you're like, wait, it's soft. It's kind of squishy. Wait. You plant both feet and you stand up, and you're dwarven to the full 5'2" of your dwarven stature, your chin just above the high point of the cresting waves, as you are now found your
I
way
think I'm 4'1".
on. Oh, sorry, you're still okay. You at the bottom of the wave, at the bottom of the crest. You get your chin is above the water. You take a deep breath, and you're like, sand. I'm on the beach. And then the wave, whoop, totally engulfs your head as you're now a foot underwater, and you struggle for breath. You can hold your breath long enough, though. All right, Gex, what do you want to do? I think you're muted.
You're
man.
muted.
How far am I from Hilda?
You can barely see her. She's about 80 feet in front of you. The waves have been pulling her.
I think, well, now that I'm in the water, I will swim to shore.
I'm gonna get you to do a perception check to see if you actually. Oh, actually, you knew. You were the one who knew the shore was over here, right? Or was that Tillman?
No, that was
No,
me.
you were.
That was
you
why
knew
I
shore
said
was
drop
near here.
anchor and all
That's
that
right.
jazz.
That's right. So, by the way, you probably should just saved the ship by doing that. Because if it had hit even Sand Beach sideways
hope
at these
so.
speeds, ugh. So yeah, so you go hauling towards the shore, and just with you get your full movement, 30 feet, and then if you dash, you'll be pretty much even with Hilda. And because you're going with the waves, I'm gonna say you go. Oh wait, Hilda, your armor gives you a swim speed. I forgot about that. You are fully up on the shore, just like a freaking jet boat, just through the waves, and you come cresting up.
I was picturing more that in the suddenness of being woken up and like told to go above, I may have not worn that armor.
Oh, okay, that works. Thank you for being honest. I appreciate that. So yeah, you're all of this is still true. Gex, if you dash, you could probably make it to Hilda.
I will do that.
You're running out of. Well, no, that's fine. The rope is in your teeth. You got it. There's enough spooling out. You're good. It's all good. All right, so you just make your way over to Hilda, and the line trailing through the rest of the way. It's not gold, but that rope will do. All right. Okay, Rook. You are struggling to
Okay.
stay on the surface. Let me just find your screen here. It's one of these. I had to hit all the buttons. So, Rook, you're struggling to stay on the surface, and there's something about the way that Volslow's panicked voice is echoing in your mind, in this dark space of your mind, illuminated, almost just this tiny vision narrows to like a horizontal slash, and you can picture him in your mind. What do you want to do?
Hearing what he said, I am now very suspicious. And I dive.
You go down?
And the reason why is, yeah,
Okay.
because so this is why. This is me. I know I don't need to breathe, and Voslo just said that he needs to breathe, but I know none of my friends need to breathe. They're trapped.
Yeah.
So what is going on here? And I'm going down.
All right. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. $22.
All right. As this swelling panic, instinctual panic to go towards the air swells, you fight that urge down because you know better. And you push and you force your way down. And there's this terrified panic voice in your ear.
No, you fool. No.
And yet you force yourself down. Deeper into the waves, sinking down. And there's a
All the way
moment-
to the bottom.
And now you're fairly close to the shore here, so it's not super far, maybe only 20 feet down, as the waves carry
I'm
you
gonna go-
forward. And you
I'm going all the
swim
way to down, and I'm
down.
grabbing the bottom.
And you grab onto some rocks and you grab onto the bottom, and there's this panic begging voice in a multitude of languages.
Look, look, we can talk about this. Look. I need... No. Do not go towards the surface. Now, before it's too late.
What do you want to do?
Don't listen to him. I don't listen to him. I'm just holding on to the ground. Like, I don't know what this is, but I know something's going on. And I'm like, you're not one of my friends. And I'm just like, basically, I hold on to the bottom. I'm just going to hold. He's panicking. Fine. Like, I'm just holding it.
I need
Something's going on with this.
Absolutely. I need you to do a Constitution saving throw.
+2. Ooh, okay.
Your
Ooh,
hands
5.
are scraping along the rocks, trying to find purchase. It's sharp. It's like coral in this one particular spot, and you feel the burning sensation. You can feel on your right hand this burning right around there, along some fingers, and it is painful. But you hold on, and that horizontal slit narrows to like a tiny little, not pinpoint. You can see this. It's almost like a peephole, and you force yourself to see what's going on. You press your face against it, and you hold steady. And the pain becomes overwhelming. Very quickly now, you're going to take 14 points of drowning damage.
Okay.
Which is a very unusual sensation given that your nature as a not quite human, reborn. In your ear, the voice of Voslos.
Please, no, look, we can talk about this. Look, I can speak to my brothers. We can find a way.
Okay, we're going to circle back to this in just 1 minute, and if it's okay with people, we're going to go slightly over time. It is now 12 o'clock. Tillman, you're in the water too. What do you want to do?
Do I see anybody in distress?
You see Rook. Do a perception check for me, actually. We'll see if you see Rook. He's a good 20 feet underneath. You do not have dark vision. Oh, wait, you do, because you're a Twilight Cleric. So you don't have disadvantage, but you only rolled a 10. Okay. You can see the shore. You knew it was there. You can see Gex rushing over towards where Hilda's standing in the surf. He's busy kind of pulling on her arms, pulling her above the surface, and her height wasn't quite enough to get above the waves, but he pulls her up as the last of his action, and she gasps for breath. They seem okay, and they even have a rope with them, the rope that's right next to you, so you could easily hand over hand and swim to get to them. You look around. You do not know where Rook went. You cannot see him.
Alright, I plunge down.
All
Let's
right,
see if I can see a bit more underwater.
sure. So the last one I was counting as a bonus action. This is going to be your action to look around for Rook. Can I get you to do a perception check, please? And an athletics check. I think, yeah.
Oh, not one on perception, but hey, I can fucking dive, baby.
All right. You dive down. Roll a d12 for me to see which direction you move your full speed in. Because you managed to swim real good. Roll it
Is that like...
I also need you to roll it again. Okay. So, 12 o'clock. So you're swimming at noon. And you can go up to 30 feet. So you cover that distance pretty good. So you're actually real damn close to Rook. But you only went down at a 4 o'clock angle. So yeah, you're probably 10 feet from him. But with your natural 1 and him on the bottom, you don't see him. You're just like blending in. What? Where is he? It's almost like the goddess herself, Selene, is sending these moonbeams piercing through just in your own vision. And yet, you're just missing him. You know that he is close, but you're not sure where exactly.
Wow.
You are so close. And now, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to ask everyone except for Gordon, can you please leave the voice channel?
Oh.
Whoa.
I'm going to go back into general chat in a moment and tell you when you can come back. It'll hopefully just be a couple of
Okay.
minutes, but I need you to leave the voice channel.
Alright.
Gordon, stay here.
What is going on?
All right, buddy.
Okay.
Now that it's just you and me,
Uh-huh.
Look. Now that you've got the ring, I can tell them. I can tell them to let you go. But I need you. We need to swim to the surface. Now.
Do you mean let me go? What is this? You better speak fast.
do a Constitution saving throw, please.
Okie dokie. $21.
It's been a long time since you've had to even bother holding your breath. So it takes you a moment to remember how to do it. But you close your mouth and plug your nose with the free hand, holding the rocks to keep yourself on the bottom with your other arm. You've got, what's your Constitution modifier?
2.
2? Okay. So you've got 2 rounds of breath before you start to drown again.
I'm sorry. But you are not exactly where you think you are. My brothers took you and kept you. And they are sending me your thoughts as quickly as they can. But until now, without the ring, I've not been able to send back. My name is Vostlo today, but other days I have been known by many names.
And under the
You're
water,
about to be a dead name. You're
And
saying that you guys kidnapped me?
under the water, he's busy shifting. Looks like you one moment. Looks like a little girl the next moment. Looks like an old orc man the next moment. Looks like a pearlescent midnight blue 6-foot-long humanoid creature with smooth features, almost no nose, slit for a mouth, fangs, and oversized eyes. As the doppelganger floats 20 feet below the surface, clinging to the rocks, psychically connected to your body, somewhere with a tiny visor-like vision, a tiny flickering candle in this double blurred vision. Outside of your immediate field of view, an office, a desk, and you remember. You remember the shopkeeper's face pressing against this metallic prison that you find yourself in. Your body unable to move more than an inch in any direction. The stench of your own soiling wafting up towards you. Your muscles aching from lack of use. The bookshelves. The desk. The atlas. The window.
Oh,
and the
it's a
face of
shopkeep thing.
And the face of the little old wizened man in front of you flickers, shifts, and morphs into a blue, pearlescent face, oblong eyes slit for a mouth, and then morphs back into the face of the shopkeeper. Another one, identical shopkeeper face, flickers into view for a moment. Two of them addressing each other, exchanging something that you can't hear, like a conversation that's been pressed on mute. And you, trapped inside this armor for weeks. Every once in a while, the faceplate forcing open, the light blinding you as they force feed you. Well, actually, you don't need to eat or drink anyway, so
I don't
you're
need
fine.
to eat. I don't need to breathe. I can't. Yeah.
So you're just held inside this animate armor. And then they speak into your mind.
Where is Oslo? Send us back. Tell us more. Oslo, do you have the ring? Do you have the ring?
The burning sensation on your right finger, back underneath the waves. The ring you stole finally connecting a two-way connection from the doppelganger back to you, and the two rings that are on the brothers as they're in front of you. You can make out that they're both wearing similar rings, and so are you, connecting you to this strange loop.
You and your brothers captured me. You have to let me go right now, or you're dead.
The brothers exchange a wordless look, and the ghostly image of Oslo kind of exchanging amongst the three of them. And they nod and look back to you. I need you to do another Constitution saving throw.
Money.
You've bought yourself a little longer. The urge to breathe just burning in Voslo's lungs.
All right. All right. All right. All three doppelgangers
Agree.
Insight check. Are they lying? They
even
like
before,
we're
there's a
doing a
few
deal here.
seconds where you're just like, you go ahead and roll an insight check.
Very, just like I want to hear the tone. Are they like yes, or are they being shifty? Natural 20, 26.
Natural 20. Oh, damn.
They're either letting me go now or this guy's dying.
They're letting you go. Back in the office, the armor plates release at a command. The faceplate flicks open. The chest plate swings open on a hinge. For the first time in weeks, you are able to move freely as the armor sloughs itself off of you. And you pull out. And you look at these two wizened old shopkeepers. And they look at you and they say,
You may go. However, you had a mission. And we very much want that mission to complete. We need...
Why did you capture me? Right?
Because it is what we do. We infiltrate.
and the other brother speaks now with this strange double, like,
we have served for a very long time as the eyes and ears of our faction. And we've waited a very, very long time to get an inside connection for the Mage Towers. This is our chance. That orb you carry, or carried, we switched it for one of our own. And we need this to go. And now, you have a choice. You can walk away, or you can help us.
Give me no reason to help you.
I need you to do a
Capturing me like
wisdom
that?
saving throw.
A wisdom saving throw?
Yep.
Okay. Ooh, 6.
There's a sudden overwhelming sense as the ring that they've forced on your hand, and you can feel these burning sensation around it suddenly swell up your arm and into your brain, and there's this piercing pain for a second, and your vision blurs, and you can see again through Vostlo's eyes the doppelganger in the shape of you, held under the ocean. And yet you keep your one arm clenched, keeping him on the bottom. And he turns in your mind to you, and he says, "It is only a matter of time."
It is only a matter of time. But I will find my way, and your friends' lives are at stake. One way or another. You can help us, or you, back in the shop, can go your way. It would be ill-advised to try to do both.
What does he mean by try to do both? Go my way and help?
So back in the shop, your vision blurs again. You see these two old wizened shopkeepers, almost twins, subtle differences, but almost twins, looking up at you. Oh, we'll let you go. That's
Fine, we'll let you go. But that is our property.
and he points to the ring that you, Rook, are wearing back in the shopkeep, in the shop, in the office. The thing that is connecting you to their side of things. To their brother, but also the thing that's allowing you to hold him and have some influence over him.
On him. Yeah.
And they're not going to let you walk out of...
We're not going to just let you walk out of here with that. So you can either help us, or you can go on your way. But know this.
Without the ring.
Without the ring.
So the choice is yours. You can think about that if you want.
I can't hold my breath much longer.
Are you going to keep him on the bottom?
So, I still have the ring to control him, so I'm going to let him go up.
Okay.
I will let him go up as part of the deal because they did that. But as he's going up, when I look around in like my surroundings, is there like there's a window? Like I'm back in the shopkeeping, there's a window or anything like that?
Yeah, you're in that office with that door that Gex snuck through. You saw this office briefly when you bought the map and told them where you were going and who you were working for.
I did not tell them where I was going. I just said that we sometimes do jobs for Kalran.
You told them where you were headed, and you
got the map. Yeah.
So they knew who you were working for and where you were headed. So there was the door.
Yeah, but they don't know exactly the person,
they don't know
but
all
they
the
know
details.
the island we're going to.
But it was enough. They were like, okay, we need to switch this guy now. They got their brother out of the chest.
Okay.
Locked you in the inanimate armor. I did some rolls on your behalf. You struggled well. The first attempt didn't work. It was off stream. Well, it was on stream, but it was off stream. Not for you.
Okay.
So
yeah,
you got
I had no
captured.
idea.
No, then I was trying to keep you in the dark. So how this is going to play out, you can continue to play Vostlo, who will have either some ideas from you helping him blend in, or he'll just you would change and play a different character, which would be a doppelganger, or you can play both you and him. Is kind of what I'm thinking. So you'll kind of play both characters, although one of them will be more like in messages to me quietly. What you can just at the end of the stream let me know what Rook would be doing. But the doppelganger is there with your friends, and he is now swimming up towards the surface of the water. And how you want to do this moving forward is kind of up to you.
So I mean, I guess like the initial instinct, I guess, of Rook who's been captured, and now realizing all this like what happened when it comes to Vostlo and then also with like kind of like how they like body switch and then that mentally being projected with him. I gotta be honest, he's not gonna help them. So like I know that he's probably actually gonna try to escape immediately, and because they basically have completely undermined the mission, and they have the orb. So he's actually just like I think what he's gonna do. He's going to deceive them. He's going to say, sounds like they're Sounds like, I'm in it for the money. Sounds like blah, blah, blah. And immediately catch them off guard, trick them, and immediately jump through the window and escape.
All right, I'm going
With
to need
the
you
ring.
to roll a deception check, please.
Okay.
Roll
Deception.
it like it matters.
Sorry?
Roll it like it matters.
Roll it like it matters. And I'm going to do knowledge of the past life
And
just
this
to
is
get
the
the
first
extra help.
time, uninterrupted, Angel's like,
Oh God, what have you got yourself into now?
and helps with a
18.
6.
Very helps. Thank you,
All right, Skinny.
Angel.
Here's what you say.
So, that's an 18. I'm going to roll their insight. With advantage, because they're semi-telepathic. Just say it, or they're full-on telepathic.
Alright. Okay, so you're going to help us, and we'll all get what we want, and your friends will be fine. Agreed?
Sounds like a plan. And then I'm rushing through the window.
Acrobatics check, please.
Okay. Acrobatics. 16, and I'm gonna do another knowledge of the past life because I haven't.
All right, do it.
Because I have 3 of them. Like it matters. 19.
19. All right, you dive, you shatter through the window. There's a gargoyle outside that takes a swing at you and tries to grab you. I need you to do either athletics or acrobatics to try and get out of the way of the gargoyle that tries to grab you on the balcony.
Okay. Not great. 10.
All right. So here's kind of what happens. You go to duck out of the way, and you go to move beyond the threshold of the window, and your hand just sticks. And you look back, and the ring is just like, just does not want to leave the premises. Now, you can feel it give a little, but it's starting to really hurt. So that's what slows you down as this gargoyle grabs onto you, and you have one leg grabbed by the gargoyle. You can try to get away, but you're going to be at disadvantage, and I'm going to need you. Do you have Arcana?
Do have Arcana now, yeah.
You did.
Because
You pulled it up. So you can roll
Yeah.
Arcana to try and resist, and like it's this weird, it's almost like the maze, it's like a maze sigil, and if you drag the ring through the right combination, it'll pop out of the sigil and get through the barrier. But you've got to do that sigil fast, and that's what Kat whispers in your ear.
Okay. Arcana 22.
Oh, nice. Just left, up, no, down, up. You're just like, and all that's on the outside, you see this bulging, almost like the meniscus of water, of this golden kind of energy, and you're like pulling your hand in this weird pattern, and your hand pops out. Now I need you to escape the grapple, so you can escape with acrobatics or athletics, and it's an opposed with the gargoyle.
All right, acrobatics. Uh, 16. I'll actually use my last knowledge of the past life.
Okay.
Last one. 17.
All right, 17 is enough. The gargoyle tries to grab you, and its stone hands are just not nimble enough as you twist just the right way to get your leg out, and you kick off of it and over the edge of the railing. Do one more acrobatics check to see if you can land without taking the full damage of the fall.
Okay.
It's at this moment you realize how stiff and sore your undead muscles are, even though you don't need
23.
to breathe. Oh, nice. So you're going to take half of 4. So you take 2 points of bludgeoning damage. You have no damage from the previous thing because you're physically fine. You land on the grass and
Bonus action dash. I'm
no
out of here.
kidding. You are running, and Cat is whispering frantically in your ear.
That ring is two-way. They can track you. Either take it off and only use it sparingly, or get a lead box or something. Get it off now.
So as I'm running, I take the ring off, put it in my pouch, and I am zigzagging and now basically
You
getting
take
away
8
and hiding.
points of piercing damage as you pry this thing off, and it's like it's toothed on the underside and is leaving these bloody welts along your finger as you pry it off. Putting that back on if you ever want to use it should be good fun. But you've got the ring, and you throw it in your pouch, and that you hear for the first time in weeks, it's just you and your village of ghostly friends in your head instead of the incessant, quiet whisperings of these 3 brothers and the mumblings of Voslo and his brothers as you run off into the dark.
And I'm running to, I'm zigzagging, but I'm going to go to Calron.
Yep, you're running. All right. Now, just for fun, you continue to get to play Voslo. However, character change. He's a spy, and he works against the Mage Tower.
He works against the Mage Tower?
He's for the faction that's against the Mage Tower.
Oh, but they want to contact them, I guess.
They want to spy on the Mage Tower by getting them there.
Spy on them.
That scrying stone. So you go ahead and look what a doppelganger is capable of. But from now on, you no longer have a direct telepathic thing to all the answers. So if your friends ask you too many questions, he's telepathic for one person. So just tell me who you look at, and it's what they know you can glean from their thoughts. Otherwise, it's deception checks from here on out, my friend. If you want. Or I could, yeah. And then we'll do little wrap-ups of, like, what is going on with Rook back in the city, back in Tazvrel, which you never left.
Okay, wow. This is quite a curveball.
Oh, yeah. You're one lucky son of a bitch that revenants, or whatever the hell you are, don't eat or drink, because they were just content to starve you in that suit. And he's still holding on. All right, let's use him some more. So yeah, that's the twist.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, so only you know. I'll get the rest of the people in. We'll probably sign off, but give him a chance. So hush hush. Voslo is not going to let that out if he doesn't have to. Or he might con to say that they still have you if he needs to. Just saying. He doesn't have to tell the truth. He's an excellent liar. All right. Did everybody else bail? I think they did. Yeah, they probably did. All right. Let me just jump over for 1 second while we get ready to sign off here. I'll go back to here. Thanks very much, everybody. There's a twist that I've been sitting on since that episode. Let me just type in anyone who can come back. Or internet, if you have a suggestion for tonight's episode name. This did not go where I was going to sit on that one for weeks. I was ready to just be all like, he's been supplanted by a doppelganger. Yeah, I did that. But thanks, Gordon, for playing along. That was fun. I don't know if anybody else is going to be able to make their way back. But, yeah. So if anybody has a...
Hilda.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you, Hilda. I think that went over the feed. Hilda's going to try to jump back on. Tihmily's going to jump back on. And we got to get a title for tonight's episode. I don't know. Do you have any ideas there, Gordon? Without too much of a spoiler?
Without spoiling things?
Or internet?
A brewing storm? I don't know.
pretty classic. It was a brewing storm. Yeah, that could work. What were some of the other earlier things that we had going on? All right, hopefully Tihmily can join us back here. If not, internet, if you've got some ideas, more than welcome to share. Sink or swim, mostly sink.
Sink or swim.
I like it.
That's a good one.
That's a great name.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lorgar. I hope I'm saying that right. And thanks for joining the stream tonight. Oh, I forgot to mention this. Steve should stop watching. Ah, no, he probably knows. But anyway.
Oh no, they know.
Oh no. Oh noes, they knows. All right, sink or
That's
swim.
okay.
Mostly sink is going to be the title for tonight's episode. I think that's a good one.
They'll probably figure it out pretty soon because Rook is going to totally went to the safe space, do something
Yeah.
to
good.
Voslo now that he knows he can do it.
I'm excited to find out how that pans out, and I hope you are too, interweebs. Oh, Hilda's back. All right,
Hilda's back.
Tihmily's back. All right, thanks
Hey,
for
welcome
jumping back
back.
on, Tihmily. So we got tonight's episode name. Oh, do we have art? Ooh, check out the Instagram. We have SideQuests Live Instagram. If you want to see that, I will repost any art that she posted. Thanks so much. And the earlier art, I loved it so much. I forget where it was. I think it was the break screen. Nope, that's not it. There it is. Happy 420 from Happy 420, man. I can't do it like Carl does it, but you know. Happy 420, and I hope you had a great time. And yeah, the art is fantastic. That's Tihmily's art there. We also have wonderful art previously with Darcy Bits, who's I think still watching the stream. Yeah, we're surrounded by pretty amazingly talented people. So stick around and don't forget to check out the art on Insta. And don't forget to hit the buttons. And thanks to Steve for all the ad copy that we've been making. See you later, Darcy. Thanks for the wave. And Tillman. Tillman. Oh, I'm so confused. That's the first time. Tihmily. Did you hear tonight's episode name? Just so you know, you're muted.
I did not. What?
Okay.
What was to?
So the viewer Lorgar shared the title "Sink or Swim," mostly sink, which I think is very apt. And next time, I'll try to convince Steve to do that song that he was practicing on break. But thanks so much to Steve for putting all the copy out there. And join us again, hopefully next week if everybody's healthy and hale. And take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we will be back for some more Dungeons and Dragons next time. Thanks very much, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, that was fun. I'm sorry to kick everybody out like that, but it had to be done.
Hey, no problem. Are we allowed to listen back to what happened?
I'm gonna say no, please, because there are some spoilers.
We will not.
Yeah, I mean, usually I like listeners and viewers for podcasts and stuff. Yeah, and shout out, by the way, to Utah, because you're kicking butt right now and taking names. All right, we gotta go. We're going off stream now. Thanks.